Um, hello. Hello. I'm sleepy as fuck. Oh no. Sorry. Oh, I should have not skipped the second. Oh, my ears are blocked. That's why it's fucked. Okay, I get it. No, we come back into blocked ears era. Why? Freaking spring with its freaking wings that destroy my fucking ears. Oh. Okay. We're at Umineko. First and first. Now streams are counted in Japanese. Why, you may ask? It's because I found out that in Roman numerals, 50 not gonna be Y, 50 gonna be an L, and I'm not taking any L ever. Ever. Plus I got upset because I thought it was Y, like Y. Like why? Why it's not Y? Why? L is not cute. L just is not cute. It's not nice, cute number. You might ask, why didn't we come to just normal numbers? Like, why won't you type 50? And I tell you, fuck you, you're so unfunny. You don't know anything about fun. I'm kidding. I don't even have energy to get, like, angry at this bit. For it to be at least somewhat entertaining, so... Two other good news, I learned how to count in Japanese. Do you wanna hear? Of course you wanna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 8, 9, 10. Yay! And then it's gonna be 11, 12, 13, blah blah blah. And then it's gonna be 21, 23. And this stream number is Goju. Goju Satoru? I never watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't even know how to pronounce its name. Oops. Oh well. So sleepy, Jesus Christ. Give me a moment, it's gonna go away soon, maybe in like 40 minutes. Drinking water. I'm also streaming tomorrow, did you know? Oh, today's Dungeon Meshi Day! Whoa! That got me excited quick. Yay, Dungeon Meshi! I'm so happy! I love Dungeon Meshi. Huge Dungeon Meshi fan. Okay, stop talking. Let's read umineko. What are we doing? Episode 6, Chapter 7, Magic of a Different Interpretation. Are they gonna address red text? Characters. What we did last time, we like saw multiple Beatrices. There was Erika who was talking about cheese. Oh! Speaking about cheese, last time when they asked this question about form of a cheese and tell you that cheese could be literally any form, and the form of a cheese that I come up with, guilty as charged, it was insane. It was so crazy. Like, why would I think that? It was absolutely delusional. I don't know if you got mad at me while watching it. Well, it's totally justifiable. I totally understand it. But I went back and I was like, holy shit, why would I think that? It doesn't make any fucking sense in any universe whatsoever. Like, but then it kind of fitted with the team because they said it could be literally any type, any form of cheese, and you need to be creative with it. Well, here you go. I come up with the most insane type of cheese, form of cheese you can ever think of. Good luck. Yep, that's it. What are we doing? What's going on here? Wasn't we... Oh, a prisoner who's supposed to be butler, but maybe it's not butler? Maybe it's like Beata or somebody? Is trying to scream. I remember this. Who is this? It kind of seems like it's Butler, but because they kind of almost directly told us this in the beginning, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's like somebody completely different. Maybe? Who knows? Oh my god, that's a yawn. Hold on. Sorry. Let's just go. I understood. My body wasn't the only thing imprisoned in this eerie locked room. My voice was, as well. Voice. Thinking I could use some kind of sound to call for help, I tried to open and closing the door violently, making the chain rattle. At the same time, character from outside of this room kinda heard it, maybe? What's this about? I can't. This is doorknob. It's not. Look at this doorknob. It's not it's not good. It's not good at all. Look at it. What's the word for it? It's crooked a little bit. Can you see it? The straight line that goes through it in the middle is not equal at the same size. You understand? Whatever. Thinking I could use some other kind of sounds to cry for help, I tried opening and closing the door violently, making the chain rattle. It did sound as though it was making a noisy clunking sound, but I was sure it was no good. Even this sound was imprisoned within the locked room. No matter how harsh a sound I make, I was certain it would be quieter than a leaf falling by the time it reached the other end of the corridor. I tried to use the hateful chain that sealed the door to make a sound to call for someone, but it only deepened my despair. I'm sorry. This chain. That's insane. Even though just a second ago it was stiff chain that looked like it was used to seal a monster away, at some point it had transformed into a normal chain lock. This changed everything. Now I could just undo it from the inside. I tried to undo the chain, but I couldn't pull it off, and the chain not being long enough for that while the door was still open a crack. Of course. Calm down. I swallowed and calmly closed the door. Then, when I saw that the chain was locking enough, I touched it with my finger to make sure. When I was little, I hated chains because I could never get them undone right. Never in my life I undone a chain lock. Never in my life I ever seen a chain lock on a door. I saw locked doors, you know, like there was a chain and there was a lock on the chain and you could undo the lock and chain wouldn't fall off, but I never saw like American style chains on the doors that they have in like these movies about bed and breakfast and stuff like this. About hotels and hostels. I have no idea how they differentiate. However, that was a long time ago, Joe. I couldn't unfasten them normally now. Anyone could. It was easy. Clink. At that moment, that terrible thought that the demon who was locked me in this room might have been using this trap to give me hope and not make me despair even more finally stopped haunting me. The chain lock unfastened, and the chain dangled here right before my eyes. Now, there was no lock sealing this door. Please, don't torment me anymore, and just open normally. Slowly, the door opened. I had closed the door in order to undo the chain so that the warm light from the hallway has been cut off. What if I opened it again and that warm light was gone this time? I was even afraid of that. However, that was just me over-imagining things, slowly expanding before my eyes. No, this is normal for a door. As the door let out an annoying creak, the exit from this cursed locked room finally opened. And it wasn't the same as before? Oh! Haha, I did it! I did it! Even my cry of joy was strangled. But that didn't matter anymore. All that mattered that I could get out. I poked my head out and looked left and right down the corridor. The warm corridor. I can sense people having fun at the other end. Everyone's right here. Let's go! Right now! At that moment, something cold and heartless crushed my throat. It was as though an iron loop has been fastened around my neck and pulled on hard from behind. No, not as though, without my knowing. At some point, a thick metal collar has been fastened around my neck. Ooh. Kinky. When had this happened? And when I turned around, I despaired even more. From the inner side of the door I had just opened, a thick chain extended which had connected to my collar. I pulled on it, but it didn't even budge. When I shook it, the whole door creaked. What the hell? The chain that connected to my collar was attached to the inner side of a door. Yeah, the same heartless chain that had secured the door a short while back had suddenly become a chain holding me in place. That's insane! That's insane! Damn it! What's going on here? It seemed like something Butler would say, right? I pulled with all my strength, trying to tear the whole door off. We already knew from repeated experiments that it wouldn't even budge. I was sure the chain would disappear once I get back inside the room, but it would never let me have it. Though it had appeared to revert to being normal chain lock, nothing had actually changed. The fact that the chain lock bound me to the room was just as true now as ever. Tears flowing down my face, I pulled with all I had. It was completely useless. Useless? No matter what I did, I'd never tear it loose. And I wasn't even permitted to call out for help. I felt a confused anger at how the demon had mercilessly made me think for just an instant that I'd escape. But no matter how much I yelled, no voice came out, and no one on the other end of the corridor could hear me. Then I noticed an old stain on the wall of the corridor. It wasn't a stain. They were letters, traced out by fingers that had been covered in red paint. Those letters, which looked like they had been drawn in blood, answered my biggest question. The chain lock must be set. You may unset it, but it must then be reset. Unless it is set, the exit of yours will be unusable. So, they forcing him to find a way out of the lock room. Okay. I instantly understood the meaning of this unsettling message. Then I tried it out and understood completely. When I returned to the room and reset the chain lock, the binding around my neck disappears. Then I undo the chain lock again, that heavy feeling around my neck returns. In other words, I cannot escape this room while the chain lock is still unset. What that means I need to do is set the chain while outside the room. I undid the chain one more time. The weightless collar and chain appeared around my neck again. I stepped into the corridor and closed the door behind me, leaving the only slightest of crack. I stuck my hands through the crack, grabbed the dangling chain and tried to reset it somehow. Damn it. It's so easy to do from the inside. Why is it so hard to do from the outside? The gap needed to be wide if I wanted to manipulate the chain well. However, that made the chain too short to reach. To bring the chain even close to reaching, I had to choose the door as much as possible. I had to close the door. But doing that meant that there wouldn't be enough of a gap to fit my hand in. Of course, that was perfectly natural. Chain locks are made to be done from the inside. They'd be completely pointless if you could set and unset them from the outside. That's why the length of a chain is specifically chosen, to prevent anyone from setting or unsetting it from the outside. Maybe I could manage it with some kind of hardened thin tool? If the gap of the door had just reached a finger's wide across, the chain would have enough length to reach. If I could just bend the wire hanger so that it would fit through the crack, and work the chain with that, didn't... Oh, it's useless. Yeah, closet. Didn't closet have the stuff? That's right, there was a closet just to the side of the door. Could there be some hangers in here? Found one! Oh, thank God. A single cheap-looking hanger, like one you might find in a laundry room, was hanging here. Really? I'm pretty sure... Is locked room gonna like work with almost anything you can try and find? I'm pretty sure when I last looked at a short while ago, nothing like this was in the closet. Oh, oops. Sorry. Who cares? Quickly. I twisted the wire hanger, bending the end with a tip around. I formed a loop at the end to grab at things with, making for a sort of burglar's tool. Hi, it's lockpicking lawyer! And today we're gonna unlock this locked room mystery. When I dashed out of the corridor again and closed the door almost as far as it would go, my wrist could never pass through this. But with the door closed this far, the chain should have extra length to spare. And this crack is large enough to make me stick the hanger through. Now it's just a matter of technique. I'll definitely be able to do it if I try enough times. I'm certain of it. It's harder than it looks, but the chain is loaded off. It isn't impossible. I had finally got it. So sorry. I had finally gotten my hands on one way to escape. It was hard, yes, but it was theoretically possible. If it was possible, then I would be able to get out. I would be able to escape from here. Beato? At this moment, I felt the heavy weight of far side of the door. It felt as though someone inside the room had leaned against the door with their forehead. And she, the witch, had laughed. Then I felt a powerful and strange force on the wire hanger. Is she trying to grab it away from me? Yeah, right, like hell ago. Like hell, I'd let my one key out of here gets stolen when my guard's down. Fortunately, I had stuck my wrist through it so it wouldn't drop dead if my hands got tired. Sorry, you won't be able to snatch this out of my hands. The witch on the other side of the door watched me and laughed once more. Then I noticed something weird. I looked at my left hand, which I had pressed against the door to hold it in place, and between the finger of this hand, I could see something red. It was red text! I realized immediately. At some point in time, even more bloody letters had been written on the door, and my left hand had been covered them up. Still fighting against the wise-like strength of a witch beyond the door, I moved my left hand to the side. Where that hand had been, bloody letters had indeed been written. Yoda a sentence? It read, as though someone had predicted that it struggled away from the mirror. It read, as though someone had predicted that I'd struggled this way from the very beginning, a message directly from the witch to me. No matter the method, it's impossible to set or unset the chain lock from the outside. All tricks down from the corridor had been sealed by the red letters. No way! I'm gonna yawn again. I'm mute. Hold on. No, every time I'm feeling even more ippy. There was suddenly a terrible sound, and the force had been pulling on the hanger had suddenly released. and when I looked at the hanger that was finally free, I lost all hope. Although it had been hit by acid, if the room darkness, the tip of a hanger had burned and bubbled and melted away. Now it was beautifully short. Yeah? Whoa, I muted accidentally, nice. It couldn't be used for anything. It would be useless to search for a substitute. All schemes to fasten the chain from the outside had been sealed. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! I threw the remains of wire hanging against the floor, faced the hallway filled with warm light, and called for help. However, I just choked, unable to speak at all. Everyone just down the corridor, and everything's peaceful here. I can hear their voices, but I know I can't hear their voices, but I know. I'm sure they're all having a good time playing cards. Please, someone notice me! Someone! Save me! This time, it wasn't the witch's voice. It was the happy voices of everyone else, which I could hear from the other side of a hallway. Someone, come over here and save me! I like those little intermissions in a locked room. That was kind of fun. To an extent. Sorry, but I'm out! George slammed his last cards down, ending the game with a victory once again. Everyone gasped in unison. The cousins' room was filled with laughter as they enjoyed their card game. Whoa, you really did have it, George Arinki. Damn you, six of spades! Your ace of diamonds was pretty nasty too. I was so close! You incredible, George Arinki-chan, you won again! Yep, looked like I won again. Maria could really hold her own in all-out battle. So she had teamed up with George, which is why she was celebrating his victory. Utter defeat. Karan winced and let his card drop on the table. The game of sevens that Kanan and the cousins had been playing had been a fierce battle. Normally they would make things easy since Maria was here, so this sort of game was rare. Karan had started taking the game seriously, unwilling to lose, so George and Butler had responded, and the battle had grown fierce. Unlike Butler, who was carefree enough to enjoy it wherever he won or lost, Karan's mood changed drastically with every victory and defeat. It was less of a dislike for losing and more like he just wasn't used to playing games. He wasn't used to the idea that you win some, you lose some. So even a loss in a game played for fun was something he took very seriously. Since he had resolved to win and had unfortunately challenged the veteran players George and Butler, the result was plain to see. Are we gonna get a sequence where they gonna play Mahjong? Asking for a friend. As Karan slumped his shoulders, Jessica slapped him on the back. Hey, you almost had it. But man, I love this stuff. Fighting all out. Whenever I go all out or not, it's all meaningless if I lose in the end. Are you kidding me? If you really give it your all, you can feel good about yourself even if you lose. If you lose after hardly trying, then you feel like grumbling and complaining about how you'd have won if you had taken it seriously, right? That's right. People who really give their all, never complain. Huh. Motto of this fucking stream, unfortunately. Those guys are always cheering no matter what the result. That's right. And those people who are scarier than anyone else, they always learn something from their experience and grow. Very true. I was a coward, so I could never learn anything. So even now, I'm not yet too mature. I'm furniture, so it's useless to dream. Because he had rigidly believed that, he had distanced himself from everything and shut himself away. However, during this time, Johann had undergone many life adventures, and now he had rested on the top, separating furniture and humans. The old Karan would only have seen this card game as a way to pass the time. However, the new Karan was now capable of gaining something new from this experience. It would probably be called grown. Gross? Grown? Whatever. Gross? Gross? Furniture does nothing but rot with the passage of time. Being able to grow is a privilege given only to humans. Thanks for playing with us. You probably had work to do, like filling in the logs, like? Seriously, thanks for going along with us. Not at all. I had fun too. Or perhaps I should say, I now understand why doing things like this is fun. Thank you very much for forcing me to come. Let's change ourselves more and more, and let's go and find more and more things you didn't know about. Oh, so about what we talked about. About what we talked about. Is it normal? Is it normal? Is it normal? Is it normal? I don't think so. Do you want to do you want to try guitar? I mean, it's not like you have to or anything, but it must be very difficult. Yeah, I guess, but I'll do a good job teaching you, and I'll even practice with you. Well, I guess I'm not that much of an expert myself. At first, Karen was scared of touching a musical instrument for the first time in his life, certain he would make a complete fool of himself. He knew that screwing up like this would make him feel bad. However, Conan was starting to learn. It's only natural that that'll be bad when I first start. If I just try to run away from that, I'll never learn a thing from all eternity. I will never achieve anything. Yep. Isn't that why people love it when they feel themselves improving? When I sucked at making my left and right hand move at the same time when I first started, but I slowly get the knack of it, and it started to feel more and more natural. Me and my Japanese. Who would have thought that working actually improves you, huh? I feel like I also got better at streaming. But not, not to a noticeable extent, but still. I feel more confident and more comfortable to talk about whatever the fuck I want, which is really nice. I probably still get flabbergasted by people in my chat, but it's fine. And I stop yawning! Yay! She said. Kaison on air is live. Is she? What is she streaming? I'd like to reach that level too. If one path to the goal is playing music with you, milady, I would love to do this with you. Why? What? What was this sequence? What was this repeating words all the time? No tautology, no tautology, tautology is bad. Really? Yes. I'm sure it'll be horrible when it starts, and I might even make you lose hope in me at times. But if I've given it my all, I can take failure in my stride. That what I learned from you all just now. You're embarrassing me. Now, I love you even more, milady, because I averted my eyes for so long, even though you shone like a sun. I never noticed you when you were right there next to me. Then I better work even harder to make you love me even more. Karen's serious and competitive words were more than enough to make Jessica shy. However, his Karen expression unexpectedly clouded. Milady, the reason I love you is so clear. That's why I can't bear not knowing. Not knowing what? Why would you start to like me? Unlike you, I do not shy in any sense. Even now I'm just clinging to your back as you shine this way. I can't think of any reason why would you like a wretch like me. That's not true, okay? There are all kind of good things about you, Karen-kun. Let me swallow my pride and ask, what about me made you like me, milady? Karen hung his head. He had never learned anything, so he had never been able to take the lead with her. It made him sad and frustrated when he had been the one-sided recipient of her affection and could do nothing but respond to it. Jessica was lost for words. After all, compared to the reason that Karen had fallen for Jessica, Jessica's reason was a lot more vague. She had listened to Shannon talk about her love for George, and at school she and her friends always talk about relationship with boys. There was nothing strange about the girl fascinated by the idea of romance developing an interest in a nearby member of the opposite sex. Yup. However, if she were to put this into words, she would be misinterpreted as saying that any nearby boy would have done it just as well. Maybe. However, if nothing else, she knew that she felt at this moment. She really did love Gannon, and she truly wanted a relationship with him. They might end up together as a result, or they might not. But whatever the outcome, she could accept it as long as she had nothing back. That allowed her to stay true to her feelings, what she knew she felt right now, and act on them seriously. However, she couldn't find the right words to tell Karen this. When Karen saw Jessica bite her lower lip in frustration, he finally realized. I'm such a fool. How come I died? Huh? What about me do you like? This very question is foolish. It's to prove that I'm not serious about myself and that I haven't been able to understand myself. It's horrible of me to try and make you say it for me. Love it. He gaslighted himself into an answer. Scary sound? That's not true. After all, this is the first question any girl would like to ask after being given a love confession. The question, what part of me do you like? It was immature of me to ask you that. How could anyone like someone so mature? Wait, that's not... Jessica panicked, trying desperately to explain how she felt. However, Conan was calm, and then he spoke. In this case, I want you to grow to love me. The way I already love you. I've decided to change myself so that can happen. I can possibly hope for you to love me the way I am. But someday, no matter what. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure you become a wonderful person, Kanan-kun. A guy so cool I can't keep my eyes from you. Until then, I stick by you all the way. We have all the time in the world. Do you, my dear people? Oh, he knows then. Okay. So he does know every time. So his recent developments are a result of him living through as a piece? Unfortunately, there isn't that much time left. What about time? When I talk about furniture, it usually saddens you, but this is something I must talk to you about. It is also something I must fight for with all my soul. What are you talking about? I don't want to hear any more of that. I'm furniture, so I can follow love talk. Second. I understand. That's why I intended to become human. But at the moment, I am furniture. Just do it then! Become human! The witch taught me once, the single element of this world. She said it was love. It's something that humans born to this world can take for granted. However, it's not something that those not from this world who were born as furniture can take for granted. In order to gain it for themselves, they must have magic or a miracle. In the same way that Nathan and George Sama would never have ended up as they have without borrowing the power of the golden butterfly brooch. I don't really get the last part. What is it that you don't understand? Let me hear it. Since the game began, a large population of the game had been spent on Shan and Khan's determination to fall in love. I have no problem with interpreting this as a story of growing teenage determination for a girl and a boy who call themselves furniture. However, one of the assumptions they make feels really out of place for me. Why is magic necessary? Is that it? Both Shannon and Canon know I'll purposely refrain to them as furniture. The furniture has always claimed that this cannot be love between furniture and humans. That's where the magic of a golden butterfly brooch came into play. It was the miraculous result of the magic that love was established between Shannon and George and Ichan. That's what they claim. Surely it would not be stretched that they fought the forbidden love across class boundaries. Could never bear fruit without a miracle of magic? Oh, I agree. Shannon and Canon are both servants in love with members of the Shiremiya family, so make it perfect sense to me that they might disparage themselves as furniture while suffering from a forbidden love. Then what it is that it doesn't make sense to you? Without the power of magic once more, marriage will be impossible. Shannon and Canon both seem to share this view. That's the part that I just can't understand. After meeting in secret for quite some time, George and Shannon had finally gotten engaged. Both were fully prepared for it emotionally, and though they would be some trouble with their relatives, it had gotten to the point where it would probably be impossible for everyone to prevent their marriage. Trying to stand between two who wish to be wed is as foolish as standing in the path of an arrow in flight and trying to catch it. Exactly. George Nichan had sworn to protect his parents for the rest of their lives and no longer fears the opposition of disinheritance from his parents. On the contrary, he even considers them to be perfect tests to demonstrate his love for her. In other words, they will be married no matter what. No one can stop them, and they have both consented to the engagement. No one can stop them or impede them. Trying to break apart lovers is a foolhardy venture. Yeah, and that's what's strange. There is no need for magic. If George and Shannon had wanted Eva's approval for their engagement, then magic really might have been necessary. After all, Eva had forbidden his relationship with her. No matter how much George spoke on Shannon's behalf, the chances of Eva being convinced were virtually zero. If this was the case, it would be understandable if they wanted a magical miracle to make Eva acknowledge their engagement. But they didn't. But George Nichan was already sworn to it. He doesn't care whether his parents approve of their engagement or not. Yeah, there is nothing standing in the way of their engagement, and Shannon could know that well herself. So why is it that now, on the night where the proposal went so smoothly, she's still praying for a miracle of magic? Oh. She doesn't know? She doesn't know? She doesn't know. Without much miracle, she will not have the right to marry, is what the furniture claim. And here you go. It means that Shannon had accepted George's proposal, but she knows there is still some kind of obstacle remaining that she can be overcome without a magical miracle. She's talking about them surviving the night? And that obstacle isn't something that they can overcome by their own efforts. That's why they need a miracle called magic. Why do they need magic? If two people love each other, what other miracle could they possibly need to be together? I see. Zerlin listened to Angie's interpretation, smiling in a satisfied way. Apparently, she had already reached the conclusion and was enjoying watching Angie finally manage to do the same. And what same question applying to Karan as well? The true love between him and Jessica Onichin has just begun, but their emotions are pure. There is nothing standing in their way. They're always in love in a relationship, even without the gold butterfly brooch. It'd be no surprise if the relationship they started to last for years and eventually result in marriage. There is nothing standing in their way either. As long as they do not seek approval from Kraus and Natsuhi, it seemed that they will not need a magical miracle either. I'm so sleepy. Exactly. Kanan watched how Shannon lived and changed his own way of life. Then he let the true feelings be known and started a relationship with Jessica Onichan. There is no need for magic anymore. If it were one-sided love, then he might need a love charm or something. But their feelings are already mutual. They already communicated their intentions to one another. So why did they need a miracle on top of that? Most pieces of furniture are in a relationship of mutual love. There shouldn't be any need for miracle any longer. So why do they still desire a miracle of magic? And on top of that, a single brooch is portrayed as bestowing only a single miracle. It feels almost as though Sharon is hesitating because if she used up that miracle for herself, current chances at love will be automatically sealed away for eternity. Yeah, but if they know that there are pieces, doesn't they know that it doesn't matter if they're gonna survive this time or not? Wouldn't it be meaningless? I mean, it does have some sort of meaning to them, probably, like personal, like they don't want to see their loved ones die, and they probably don't want to die themselves in a horrible way, but... So the question is this: why is furniture not allowed to love? So you ask why love is not permitted without the miracle known as magic. And also, there's this golden butterfly bruise that can allow the lamented furniture to have the love they insisted they were incapable of. Just what on earth is that? Of course, it is crystallization of magic. However, like most magics, it can be burned by the anti-magic toxin. So, it can only have an effect for those who believe in magic and witches. Correct. So Shannon, who was capable of interacting with me, was able to make use of its benefits. However, if Shannon had dropped it in a sandy beach and someone who knew nothing picked it up... Beatrice propaganda is keep going. Hold on. It was 40 minutes of stream. Why can't I just wake up? Jesus. I love being caffeine addict. Oh. Precisely. Did I read last one? If the person was shrouded in an anti-magic toxin... Fuck. If this person was shrouded in an anti-magic toxin, we won't be able to make use of a brooch's magical power. Annoying. Precisely. A witch's magical items are often lose their power if they are not handed over directly. However, in just the same way that a witch can manifest herself in her existence is acknowledged by a great many humans and the anti-magic toxin disappears, the power of that magical item can also be preserved if it's believed by a great many people. That's ironic. Should I go and wash my face with cold water? I'm gonna fall asleep. Should I? I should do it. Gonna be like 2 minutes. Sorry. Well, it definitely helped. My glasses are broken, which is so unfortunate. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I don't have any money to buy the new glasses. My part-time job doesn't pay me for January. And now, almost end of February, so they need to pay me for 2 months straight, like, soon, and they're not doing it. And I'm not officially employed, so I can, stand for my worker rights, which is awful. And I kinda can't ditch this job either, because it unofficially employed me. Oh. It's so upsetting. Like, lens on my glasses just falls off all the fucking time now. It's so annoying. That's ironic. No matter what kind of magic we witches give out, everything depends on whether the human we give it to can accept it. I have heard that the same goes for medicine. Even with the exact same medicine, humans who knows the medicine effect experience it to a greater degree. Oh, I think I understand. When taking cold medicine, I've gotten the feeling that it's more effective when you read the description on the bottle. As she listened, Beatrice thought that magic sounded a bit like charm. When most humans think of magic, they think of incredible miracles being performed one after another in front of a crowd. However, this true magic that the older sister spoke of sounded almost like a charm, something that had no effect if the person using it didn't believe. Shannon's heart was captured by George bit by bit as he grew by leaps and bounds. However, she had given up, thinking that one of the lower status such as herself would never find love with him. That was when Beatrice had given her the golden butterfly brooch and encouraged her. Giving up means that you have zero chance of success. But if, with the power of magic, you think there just might be some chance of your wish coming true, the probability then rises to something greater than zero at the very least. Zero remains zero forever, but if even a faint probability were to exist, it would be no exaggeration to say that it was impossible that miracle occurred compared to the time when the probability was zero. Humans can use magic to take resignation, by which they themselves make the probability of success zero and cancel it out. When a human does not give up, though their chance to success might be small, those chances do exist. And the stronger their belief, the more those odds rise. It was easy to imagine that Shan had made earnest wishes upon the brooch, believed in the effect, and made many little efforts to get George to like her. The power of belief becomes magic, and those who make others believe are witches. Those who make others believe are witches. That's an interesting way to put it. If you think about it, it's true. Let's say a witch steps out into the spotlight, waving her staff in front of a crowd of onlookers, and makes a rabbit appear out of thin air. The many people who see it will surely think it was a sleight of hand. Excuse me, where did she put the rabbit from? They might wonder at how it was accomplished, but they would be sure that it wasn't magic. They would applaud the splendid trick that had appeared to be magic. But what if they conducted a sacred ceremony inside a great ancient temple in front of a crowd of believers, culminating in the exact same thing? Would any of the people here think that it was sleight of hand? In fact, in ancient past, when magic tricks as a form of entertainment didn't even exist and divine spirits were worshipped, this would doubtlessly have been a miracle of magic. In this case, would this count as magic? Huh? Will the witch who cannot use magic now perform it for the first time? Here, I have an empty cup. There is nothing inside it. It's empty. Go on. I will take this cup, turn it like this, and place it upside down on the table. And then? What next? Let's both close our eyes and chant the incantation. It was the same trick that had been used to give Maria candies. Beata the elder grinned and closed her eyes. When she saw this, Beata slowly chanted the incantation. Come, try to remember. What was inside the cup? Come, try to remember. What was inside the cup? As she chanted, Beata slowly opened her eyes and made sure that the older sister was repeating her with her eyes closed. Then a single gold butterfly appeared out of nowhere, fluttered down into the overturned cup, and scattered away in a spray of gold. Well, I like this. May I open my eyes now? Yes. Please open your eyes and expect the contents of a cup. Well now, let's see how well your first bit of magic was worked. Taking her time and dragging out the suspense a little, the older sister lifted up the cup. Aha! How is it? When the cup was lifted up, they lay a single golden rose petal. Does it count as magic? Jesus, she's so cute. Yeah, it most certainly does. He used magic to create a golden flower petal inside the returned cup. Magic! Yay! Yay! I'm so not impressed. It was a splendid bit of magic, was it? Without love, it cannot be seen. This much I understand. It may be viewed as a trick. It may also be believed to be magic. It all depends upon the toxin of the individual. Then again, while this can explain some of the magic that's been used in the past, it can't explain everything. To get back to the point, none of this stuff about believing in magic and charms can answer the question. What is a golden butterfly brooch that can allow the lamented furniture to have the law of the insistent? What? To have the law of the I'm dying. What is the golden butterfly brooch that can allow the lamenting furniture to have the love they insisted they were incapable of? Nailed it. First try. It's not enough for an answer. To take what we heard from the two beatas at face value, would it not make sense to consider that magic has the power to cancel out the furniture's resignation? Why must furniture fall in love? Why is the power of this magic brooch necessary? Yeah, it does seem at a glance as though what you and the Beatas are trying to provide as an answer, though a vague one. However, let me say this is as a reader. I can't accept this as you presented it. You cannot accept it, you say? The fate that those pieces of furniture were fighting to overrun was something much more immense than this world would allow for. I'm having a hard time today. I doubt they could reform their way of thinking just because they were given a charm for making relationship. It's true that the brooch gave Shannon the chance she needed to get together with George and Ichan, but after that she said she wanted to deepen their relationship without borrowing the power of magic, and she even tried to give the brooch back to Beata. She put the miracle of magic behind her at this point. In this case, why is she once again in need of this power? Well now, perhaps there is no way to say it except that love and marriage are very different things. Vitterlin laughed lightly. She had probably formed a theory of her own and was laughing at Angie, who hadn't reached it yet. Let me hear it. What's your view? I'd like to keep it to myself for just a while longer. And of course, watching you form doubts and like you might raise is one of the joys of being read out loud to. If I give you my views, you would accept them and stop thinking. Then have you read out loud would be no fun. So you having me read a mystery novel you already know the answer to just so you can enjoy watching me blunder about? Well, I am a witch of theater going. If you wish to laugh at my bad taste, please do not hold back, my Mika. Ha ha ha. I understand that part of magic is created by a believing heart, and that magic probably permeates deep into the world of humans as well. However, though it does not permeate? So far, the power that dwells within the magic is small. Visiting a shrine before an important exam to pray that you'll pass, it's something that... Visiting a shrine before an important exam to pray that you'll pass is something many people do. Yep. However, not many people will actually credit that visit as a reason for their success. Praying like this contains no power except as a calming influence. In love, there even a small chance that a bit of a courage can cause a major change. This power might cause a massive upheaval. However, would always was spelled like this? The insurmountable fate that those pieces of furniture claim to be in the middle of really change because of something like this. Okay, I think there's in the past the magic power of the brush as it joined Shannon and George was little more than a godlike charm. However, at this point, the magical power that the pieces of furniture were seeking from the brush, praying for their love to succeed, it's not something as vague as a charm. It felt much stronger, like a whole different interpretation of magic. Okay. What is this about? Where it's gonna go? If you believe in a sleight of hand, it becomes magic. But that's no more than a child's trick. And that only explains one part of magic. They are hoping for something. They're hoping for something with much, much more power. For true magic, not a sleight of hand. So then, just what kind of magic are the pieces of furniture expecting from this brush? They praying for the game to end? Maybe? Possibly? A golden butterfly brush? The Golden Witch Beatrice gave a magic charm to Shannon in exchange for smashing a mirror, a charm that makes love succeed. That's what it is. From his pocket, Kyle pulled a wing of a gold butterfly. Though it was just a single wing, it was easy to tell from its distinctive shape that it has ordinarily been part of something with a butterfly motif. The magic of the brush gave Shannon the chance she needed to start her relationship with George Sama. However, before the magic was fully realized, she left it to me. So, thanks to the power of this brush, I gain your affection, my lady. That's not true. I started liking you because of my own honest feelings. Thank you very much. You're a human, so you do not believe in witches or magic. It's only natural. However, as furniture created by magic, my very existence here is proof that miracles of magic exists. Where is it going? Sorry, what are you talking about? Jessica tried her hardest to grasp what Karen was trying to say. Is Karen actually a chair and, like, he was Cinderella style, turned to a human? However, she couldn't understand it and had to ask him to repeat it with a bitter smile. Both Shannon and I need magic to succeed in love. The key for that, IKEA. The key for that is this brush. I stepped on it and crushed it, so we each have one part. The brush had lost its power when it was split in half. However, if it was ever joined together again, its magic would be revived. It would revive the miraculous power that would join furniture and a human together. However, a single brush can only grant one person's wish. Only one of us furniture can be joined by a single brush. Can you, I thought you gotta say something that we already didn't know, but no. It was a single spark of love that the old Beatrice with her shrill laugh had sown on a day long ago. That Beatrice had likened humans who were tormented by this spark to ripe fruit and taken evil pleasure in their suffering. However, the magic infused with the spark was real. It was only crystallization of magic that the Golden Witch Beatrice ever left in this world. Its shine grew brighter. What? It's okay, but please don't look right at it. It will blind you. It grew more brilliant still, shining like a sun. Jessica didn't need Karen to tell her to put her hands over her eyes. As the light grew stronger, a sound like a roaring of a wind or the tide also grew in intensity. It already drowned out the sound of a wind and rain outside. Jessica could no longer even stand, and she crouched on the floor. It was fluid of a sound and a light. and until it was true, Jessica could do nothing but moan. Okay. What are we doing? Oh, cool. And? Cliffhanger again? Zephyr and Furfur. Name of demons? New demons? Just unlocked? Come on, it's okay now, let's hurry. I hope Father likes sweet food. Oh yeah, he does like them. In fact, he seemed to enjoy eating pretty much anything. Why is... What's her name? Virgilia in Kumasawa's body again. After waiting for the master of the study to be out, Beato and Kumasawa entered the study. Then they quickly tidied away the books on the desk, set down the basket they had brought here, and began spreading out the content. Inside were several cute cookies cut out of a butterfly shape. Whoa. They set out a cute plate and neatly decorated with cookies. It was the kind of side adornment that the person eating wasn't likely to even notice. The whole setup was filled with this sort of feeling. You spare no effort for the sake of your beloved father. This is all I'm permitted to do right now. To think that I would give butter cookies. Why should I, the ruler of the nights, do so much for a guest who comes so rarely? Then the study doors swung wildly open. Hi! It was Butler, with Genji by his side. Butler's eyes went wide for a second when he saw Beata here, but his expression quickly went blank again. What are you doing here? Father, please excuse me. I didn't come here to get in the way of your important game. How were you able to get in here? Wasn't this room locked? My apologies. I lent them a key because they wished to surprise you with a gift. See, have a look! Beatrice-sama baked these cookies with all his soul, hoping that you would enjoy them. Kumasawa-san and Genji-san taught me. I never knew Genji-san was so good at baking cookies. It hasn't done much of a late, but Genji-san used to cook many things long ago. He was especially good with sweets. Cookies? Yeah, it's a gift for you, father. I sincerely pray for your victory in this important match. Butler looked at the plate of his study desk that was piled up with beautiful cookies and a message card of encouragement lying next to it, and his face twisted with complex expression which might have had trace of both sadness and anger contained within it. Butler, don't be a dick! Please, 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 please. My lord. It's not so many words. Genji prompted him to consider giving Beata's effort some kind of acknowledgement. Butler understood. He had no reason to respond to this kindness or his displeasure. Yup. However, even though he understood this logically, all he could do was give a smile, exasperated sigh. Thank you. I'm very grateful. But I don't like sweets. Please take it away. My lord! Don't make me say the same thing again. Please clean it up and take it away. My lord, could you just try one bite? Beatrice will work hard to make them for your sake. I'm grateful for this sentiment, but in the middle of a very important game now. Important to both me and Beata. And it will be our last, so please, try not to trouble me any more than necessary. That's just too sad for her. I'm glad that you are grateful for your feelings, but can you show it by taking just one little bite? Father. Beata looked at Butler sadly. Butler hung his head to avoid her gaze. The expression on his face was more pain than any he had shown Beata before. Kumasawa, clean this up and take it away. My lord! Kumasawa implored Butler to listen, but he turned his back to her. My apologies. Let's clean this up, Kumasawa-san. I won't allow it. By making this gift, but Beatrice somehow made it, give it her all to try and support you in your important game in the only way she could, to tell you to take it away without eating it by yourself. How can you trifle with a woman so? Kumasawa. If you call yourself a man, you would at least try to buy it when a woman makes you a handmade snack. If you truly intend to trample on this woman's feelings, I promise you this, I will not back down, even if it kills me. No, I won't. Kumasawa-san, you've done enough for me already. I won't allow it. My lord, do you think this might be poisonous inside them? Yeah, if Beata ever came to give him cookies, of course I think that she put some kind of crazy poison in them. She asked me if I thought there'd be poison in here. How could anyone ever think that cookies like this, piled up in such a neat and cute way, could possibly have something bizarre hidden inside? And who could possibly believe that Beato would make something like this? Because of that, Butler couldn't bear to look at Beato's innocent reaction, which had completely free from any malicious thoughts of slipping poison into the cookies. Beato quietly started to clean up. Every now and then she sniffled. Oh, she's so cute! She didn't deserve it! She's just a girl! She's not even the old Beato, she's just a girl in Beato's body. Why are you mean to her? If Beato made me cookies, I would eat every single one of them, and I would lick the plate. Kumasawa had been glaring at Butler continuously, but Shino gave a small sigh and helped Beato clean up. However, the hardness didn't disappear from her expression. It was actually kind of hard to make. As a person who really bad at baking sweets, I might tell cookies are hard to make. My apologies, father. Please excuse me. Don't call me that. Don't call me father! Beato never once called me that. Yes, as you wish. My apologies. Hanging her head so low that your chin touched her chest, Beato hurried out of the study. After giving Butler a look, Kumasawa chased after her. She shut the door a bit violently, and the footsteps of the pair rapidly disappeared off into the distance. Back to Angie. Is Angie gonna say, what a dick? And maybe his little sister, but I'm not sure how I feel about this. True. Is there ever anyone other than Beato who'd think of him as a true enemy of women? Is it it? If she were anyone other than Beato, you'd think of him as a true enemy of women. Is that it? I don't have a clue why Onichen and Beato act so friendly together. Right now, I don't think Beato as our greatest enemy, the one we must defeat. Still, even so, as a woman, I can't say I like Onichen's reaction. No, I can understand Butler's feeling a little. What a sad state of affairs. I still don't understand what kind of bad blood or connection there were between them. However, Onichen probably views Beato as a friendly adversary, if not something more. Onichen's reasons for defeating Beato isn't to destroy an enemy out of hatred. It feels like he wants to give a sincere answer to your question. Yes, I can't deny the fact that their fights isn't based on hatred, but on a strong emotion. And on top of that, Beato really is something to remain dedicated to Onichen even after being treated so coldly. I agree with the other, older sister Beatrice. I can't understand why she's so dedicated to Onichen. And though it may take 1,000 years, that single factor that you do not understand must be pleased on the golden-led Beatrice we know so well. Yes, I understand this. Knowing this Beato leads to knowing the Beato who is to come. It may explain the greatest piece in this crazy game, if not the game board itself. Such a mysterious witch. Though she said those words with a lean, more confident smile on her face, sarcastic confidence, as though she already knew the answer, wasn't changed. Beatrice, I want to ask you something. Yes, well, what would you like to know, Angie-san? Beato, who had been reading a fragment book in the shadow of a study, jumped when Angie called out for her. Why do you call Shiremiya Butler father? Because he created the piece that I am. In this case, why are you so dedicated to Shiremiya Butler? Is there some rule that pieces must obey the creator who made them? There is no such rule. Pieces are tools, like a knife. If the game master uses them well, they can be useful. However, if you use them incorrectly, they can hurt you as well. Whatever the tool is used as a tool or a weapon, that has nothing to do with the tool's own will. It's merely the result. In that case, why are you so dedicated towards Oni-chan? It's almost as though that's your purpose as a piece. Yes, that's the purpose for which I was born. Did Oni-chan, the one who gave birth to you, gave you that purpose? You have the throne, Butler merely set a piece with this role on a board as a game master. The one who gave birth to the piece was the first game master and the one who created this game, Beatrice herself. It's getting confusing. In other words, you keep calling Oni-chan father, but she's not actually your father. He didn't even create you. You're just calling him that affectionately, because you feel that you have to dedicate yourself to him. Yes, I think that's true. Father was the one who placed me on the game board. If he hadn't, my piece would never have had a turn. So the reason I exist here right now is the reason I was able to devote myself to my purpose. It's all thanks to Father. I see. So that's why it makes sense for you to call him father. In this case, who told you to devote yourself to Oni-chan? Oh right, that's the first game master about yourself. It's so confusing! You wish to ask her why she must serve as Shiremiya Butler, correct? However, she cannot give you this answer. She was given nothing but the purpose itself. Only the person who gave you the purpose know the reason for which they did so. This is awful! This is awful! Oh my god. This is so depressing. This is awful. She just here. She just exists here without being able to understand why she was created, and the original Beatrice died, so now she's just alone in the space. Awful. I see. Consider this as well, child of man, right? Oops. So, what? So that means you already have an idea and you're laughing at my confusion. You really are just perfect for my Miko. I will do anything for Father. My existence will bring Father happiness. That's my greatest pleasure. And... At this point, Beata hesitated. What? And what? Yes, and... if I could one day have Father acknowledge my effort, there would be no greater happiness for me. What the hell? If you only wanted to serve him, I'd say you're just another piece of a witch's furniture. But you want him to acknowledge your efforts? That's like furniture and more like a child. And just stop mid-sentence. It's less like a furniture and more like you're just a girl who loves Oni-chan. Nah, I don't get it. The guiding force behind this Beata's action is that of a girl who adores Oni-chan. But then, what would that make her? If she liked Oni-chan, then she should have adored him and done things for him herself. Why would she create a piece of herself, a separate entity, to do it? This way, even if she does attract Oni-chan's attention, it will be towards a piece version of herself, not the creator who made the piece. If I ever fall in love with someone, I probably want to do the same for them. But of course, I would want to do those things myself. After all, I would want him to notice me. This love is destined to go virtually unrewarded. No matter how devoted she is, she will never get anything out of it. And she done this out of your own free will. Beata behavior looks no different from that of an average girl in love. She devotedly doing all she can for him, dreaming that your kindness will eventually be acknowledged. Why would Beata create a piece like this? Is putting it in terms of romance a bit too confusing? Let's just try using food as an example. It's as pointless as creating a piece to eat food for you. No matter how much food your piece eats on your behalf, you won't get any less hungry, right? Did Beata knew she's gonna die or something? That's why she made a separate piece? To kinda look after Butler, maybe? You are the one who wants to it. Also, I have a question. Why the fuck Butler not asking any of this question? Why is he just silently sitting here? I mean, he kinda ascended to the role of a game master, but is he really sure he knows everything if he doesn't know anything about the Beata piece and why is she like this? You're the one who wants to eat. There is no reason for having a piece to do this in your place. For most jobs in the world, you can get someone else to do it for you. However, with love and food alone, there can never be any meaning in letting another person do it in your place. That's right. This Beata was created as a piece for an impossible reason. Though at a glance she looked like just a normal girl, the more I learn about her, the less I understand. Like an imaginary number. Father hates it when I call him... Well, that's fairly weird that she calls him father then. If she's in love with him, This is some weird shit here, huh? And the me that father desires didn't call him by that name either. Yep, that's true. Right. The former use spoke to everyone without even using honorifics. Oh, really? She did? That's nice. However, simply possessing this knowledge doesn't mean I can refer to Father quite that informally. I'd like to do my best and make a start by calling him Butler's son. I'm surprised you haven't gotten discouraged after being treated so coldly. Father, no. Butler's son is in the middle of an important game right now. His opponent is a formidable Erika, piece of a great Lady Bercastel. I stepped in a delicate moment in this game, just as it was starting to reach the critical part, and called Butler's son by that name he doesn't want to hear, so it's no surprise that he was in a bad mood. Oh, she's so beautiful. Apparently, Beata still wanted to devote herself to Butler, even after being treated in such a cold manner. Though to an outsider, it just looked as though she was being snubbed. It doesn't faze you at all. It truly is a blindness of a girl in love. Or is it is it that I can see because I have no love? At times, love can make the invisible visible. Well, great line. Thanks for your help. Furtherline, Beata once again immersed herself in a fragmented book that told you of your former self. She was trying to find something about the Beata that Butler desired. And you shrugged at us, saying, well, I don't get it. Furtherline laughed when she saw this and quibbled that innocent young woman could never understand. And she grumbled something back unhappily. The interaction seemed to have no effect whatsoever on Beata as she sat in the shadow of the library. Beata, you shouldn't sit in the shadow. It's bad for your eyes. You need a source of light. Silly girl. After chasing all the others out, only Butler remained in the study. There was no color in this dimly lit room. However, for just a short while that the plate of cookies had been placed here, the room had seemed at least a little cheery. Butler's gaze drifted over to the desk, which no longer had anything on it. When he did, the cookie plate that had been here until a second ago was revived. However, it was an illusion. Though the cookies could be looked at, they could not be touched, much less eaten. If Butler wished, he could make it possible to touch them or eat them, but it would be an empty sensation. Butler, what was the point of rejecting her if you now sulking? If it only gave the touch and taste that Butler desired, he no longer had any way of knowing what kind of cookies they had actually been. Butler ascended and became freaking sundry. Jesus. In the receptions of a face in Butler, a cloud of gold butterflies slowly gathered and took the form of the old Beato. How many Beatos is this? Like 5? 6? 7? No, it's probably 1, 2, 3? Wasn't there another Beato somewhere? This is Peace Beato of this current game. Then there's Beato, who's an innocent girl. Then there's Beato from other fragment for some reason that time traveled here or something. And that's it? Just 3 Beatos? Are we sure about this? What about human Beato? There is no human Beato. Yeah, there's only 2 Beatos. There is no Beato on Angie's side. On Angie's side is little sister Beato, this Beatrice. Okay. It's not that many Beatos, but it's still a lot more that we needed. I just want 1 good Beato. I don't want 3 low quality Beatos. Come on, have a bite. It's not every day they'll make this by hand. Have no fear, I'm confident in how well they turned out. Hearing that from a lady makes them all the more dubious. Seriously? Any cookies you made would obviously have some kind of strange poison in them. Shocking that you would think so. Even if I did put something in, it'd be no worse than the kind that does this, and maybe that... What? It'd be no worse than the kind that does this, and maybe that's to you know what. Sorry, 3rd time. Even if I did put something in, it'd be no worse than the kind that does this, and maybe that does this, and maybe that, to your you-know-what. I have no clue what the sentence is about. Yeah, haha. Oh, now Virgil is here, okay. It's because you do that sort of thing all the time, but Butler-kun will never agree to eat them. That's a different Beato, though! Putting things in someone's food is pretty basic, isn't it? Fingernails, bits of hair, magic charms, fragments of love, needles. What would you people put in? Come on, say needles. Yes, ma'am. I would put anything in them. I just eat them all myself. Obviously. Do you have to be so predictable? Nobody. That's a perfect opportunity to make a reference. Why not? Why they didn't grab on it? Oh, well, they say girls get grabbed by all 3 sucks. The first step is the stomach, right? Next comes the wallet, so what could be the 3rd one? Star. What are you guys talking about? If I could catch you guys' attention, I had to make him sacrifice his body, heart, and soul for me. That's why I pour all my power and affection into my cooking. In any event, giving someone food that you cooked yourself is probably a frontal attack, as all this time. Ridiculous. How pathetic to think that you require such trick to grasp a man's heart. You'd be very interested in hearing how much experience you have in grasping a man's heart, Anesima. Butler, there's nothing weird in it, so have a bite. Don't think you'll ever get a chance to eat my handmade cookies again. There's probably won't be another chance. I slowly stretched out my hand out of the illusion of a cookie plate and touched it. Just before I did, it became a cloud of gold butterflies and vanished into the darkness of a study. The illusions of Ranulph and Virgilia also disappeared. However, the illusion of Beata alone still remained on the sofa. Is there something that does not satisfy you? Are you really going to make me say it? The more the new me differs from me you wished for, the more you are reminded that I can never be revived again. Correct? If you let a good woman get away, you'll never get a second chance. So only now you finally realized what a good woman I was. Shut up. If you never appear again, they'll be relieved. Peter lay sprawled on the sofa and looked up at the ceiling. Butler also turned his back and moved to the window. For a while there was silence. I think you understand, but... I do understand. The me when you're expecting has already disappeared. I know. Even though that Beata is you without a doubt, she's a different being than a former you. And I can say with certainty that you will never revive again. Are we sure? Are we sure? I kind of... Are we sure? Maybe there is a miracle to be made, right? Maybe we can steal a ring and revive the old Beato? Why wouldn't we? My soul, femininity, sparkling personality, and a splendid character were cultivated in 1,000 years spent as a witch. Unless an exactly identical 1,000 years is traversed, it's impossible to become me. In short, from the very moment you decide to create me, my personal history will be different. Yeah, the Temper Castell had already guaranteed that you'll never revive. However, you still hope for it, don't you? Oh, but fuck. One day the new me trips and lands on your head, and all your memories of the past are spectacularly restored. You're hoping for something like that, aren't you? Fuck, she knows. She knows. A delusional plot like this would never pass in a light novel these days. It actually would. Shut up. Don't pretend you didn't do the same. You waited and waited for me to remember. And take notice. Then what? Does this mean that our relationship now is exactly the opposite of how it once was? Yay. Roll reversal? Well, there was a time when I continued the game believing that she would eventually notice and remember that a miracle would occur. How did it feel when you were playing those games with me? As they say, look inside your own heart. Stuff. If only she didn't look so much like you, I wouldn't be so confused about how to feel about her. Well, do as you wish. In the past, I thought with you and tormented you. Now's your chance for revenge against me. The new me will just wander about, ignorant of everything. You may boil and burn her as you see fit. Perhaps it will clear away an old hatred. If she was you, I would. It'd probably make me feel a lot better. But that Beato isn't you. Who is she then, if not me? Someone very like you, but a different person. However, there'd be no doubt that she is also me. Yeah, she is you. And at the same time, she's a different person. In this case, the new me is most unfortunate. She's being treated like a plaything in my place. How truly pitiable. This is awful. This makes me upset. What the fuck? Please bring back my favorite character? I mean, I kinda like Federica now. I mean, Erika. I kinda like Erika now, but still, Beata was so good when she was here. This might be a contradiction inside me. Even though they make you fucking catatonic all the last episode. Because the new Beata seemed like a different person. I can't accept her. Even though I know she's a different person than Beato, she keeps reminding me of her. In this case, think of her as my daughter. Uh-oh. Are we just replaying what happened to Kinzo? Like, legitimately? Thanks for being born. Nice. Your daughter? Consider your blood daughter of mine who closely resemble me. After all, she's my double, but hasn't lived 1,000 years, so calling her that is not incongruous. Incongruous? True. Imagine that I have died, left behind a daughter, and entrusted her to you. Are you allowed to say this? I feel like that's legitimately something that happened to Kinzo. And the other Beato. This way, wouldn't it become a little easier to think of how to deal with her? That's actually a good analogy. It's unlike you. Do not jest. That is my daughter. She's a child left behind after my death. You're free to press my likeness upon her. You may also set loose your pent-up resentment on her in my place. I feel like... Sorry. I feel like, the only good resolution here is gonna be that none of this was real. Or maybe some of it was real, or maybe it was real, but it didn't actually influence the real world where real people are. Or it influenced a world where real people are, only in like some one-sided, satisfying fashion. And in essence, none of this kinda mattered. At least intricacies of this world would matter. Fuck, I feel like I'm not explaining myself very well. Oh well. Oops. Making you bear my sins and tormenting her as you please may allow you to give vent to your emotions. If that is not to your taste, you can also guide her down the right path so she does not end up on the inhumane road they have tread. What are we doing here? How is the game gonna end now, then? She was made to devote herself to you since the moment of your birth. If you wish, you can mold her into any shape you desire. With a miracle of 1,000 years, she might even become me. So I could even stir her up and drag her around with a chain like you did to me once. Yeah, at this point, even greater humiliation would be possible. So she's both your double and your daughter? And your daughter, huh? Daughter. Without a doubt, she's exactly the same person, the same piece, which was created once more by the rule called Beatrice. However, when I can accept it that way, I can interpret her as being Beato's daughter. This served as a clear guidepost on how to interact with her and smooth the uncertainty in my heart. And finally, I could understand how cruel it had been to her just now. Good. My tears poured down to the ground, and when I found them with my eyes, I noticed that a white card about the size of a business card had fallen onto the floor. It was the message card. Oops. The message card that had adorned those cookies. I had rushed her, telling her to clean up and leave right away, which was probably why it had fallen on the floor unnoticed. I picked it up and read the message on it. It was extremely short, pure and sincere. It brought tears to my eyes, so I was sure I could read it. And yet, my eyes were so blurred with tears that I couldn't see anything. Bring me out the back. I mean, Butler thinks it's gonna be the last game, but I know there's 2 more episodes. Oh, hello. Where are we? The flood of light and sound slowly dissipated. The silence that followed was not broken by any noise, not even the sound of a wind and rain outside that had been so clearly audible moments before. Both Jessica and George timidly opened their eyes. Where in the world was this? Oh no! They came to some fucking couples, I don't know, game show or something. It was a strange room that they had never seen before. It looked like Western tea room. Oh no, the furnishing were stylish and expensive. It felt as though a dignified person must own this room. Preparation for black tea were set on the table, and so was the chessboard, which seemed to be halfway through the game. However, there was something strangely out of place. The black and white chessboard pattern made it feel like chess, but it looked like a very similar yet totally different game that no one knew of. In the same way, is it fucking New Dimension? They invented New Dimension beings that play in the chess above this dimension that we're already in? In the same way, they look both like chess and not like chess. The furnishing of this room, no, this room as a whole, looked at the first glance like a Western tea room, but also felt like something completely different. Just here... Just where is this place? Jessica-chan and Kanan-kun. Shannon? Where's Shannon? I'm right here, George-sama. And I'm here, Milady, George-sama. We apologize to bring you to a place like this. What on earth is going on? You took out something that looked like a butterfly wings and started shining, and then the same thing happened to me. Karan-kun took out this golden butterfly brush thing and it started to sparkle and... Lady, George-san, first of all, please allow us to apologize. And please, stay calm. Something very strange is about to happen. Oh no! Couples therapy? The strange thing will probably test us. Test us? Do you mean the trial you were talking about? That we have to overcome if we want to be together? No, that was like reality TV or something. Is this it? They wasn't having it. Was... I forgot the genre. Was a sitcom about a lady detective. It was not enough. We need to go through every genre of television ever created. Master Chef Wang? I haven't explained it to you yet, my lady. My apologies. But please, if your words just a second ago were the truth, please lend me your strength. I will give it everything I've got, so please. I'm not getting any of this. Do you know something, George Nissan? A bit. I'm just as surprised as you about what's happening now. But if they say that this is an unavoidable trial that's essential to us to go through, I intend to take on whatever may come. A trial? Karan-kun, the brush. Yeah. The two of them brought the halves of a broken gold butterfly brush closer to each other. As they grew closer, the strength of their bright yellow radiance increased. Hollow Knight? Jessica-chan, I want you to brace yourself for this. I'm already mentally prepared. Shut up, George. What are you talking about? I don't have a clue. What the hell is going on? It's a trial. It's a test of pair of lovers. Huh? That's kind of intense, that you just start a relationship with somebody, and the second you're like, yeah, we need to go to take this test. Kind of weird. George spoke those corny words without any hesitation. It was such an embarrassing line that Jessica couldn't help turning red. But the expression on George's face, which was so serious that it was almost grim, forced you to stand up as well. Shannon and Cannon were just as serious. Is Shannon and Cannon gonna turn to somebody, or we actually getting introduced to new characters? With a glow in their eyes, as though they were taking part in a sacred duel, the pair of them brought two golden wings together. Then the wings that had held became a single brush and regained their magical power. An even more intense light filled the room, and the scene was burned into the retinas of all present. Stop saying retinas. As the brush shattered and two shining things flew out of it. Hello? Something's up and going down. People's sake for the sake of love. Yes, this world is love itself. Oh, how the great is the power of love. Love is everything. Suddenly the voices of two people who they never heard before rang out. What was it? Who were they? Oh, it's them. George and Jessica nervously opened their eyes. They did the sound effect without even mine. When they did, they saw the two demons had appeared here, almost as though the brush, which had once been split into two hands, become them. Oh, this is odd, Furfur! Why are we in a place like this? It's a really strange Zafar. There's no one but humans and furniture. Where's the witch? Where's a witch capable of summoning us? Yes, we remember well the name of the witch of the contract, don't we? Why don't we try calling her, Furfur? Yes, you're right, Zafar. Zafar? We know the name of a witch of the contract, the Golden Witch. Well then, let's try calling her name. All together now. Beatrice! Given their manners, exaggerated like a theater play, their slightly ridiculous style of talking, it would probably be hard to immediately comprehend the great powers that demons possessed. Oh, look at her! She had like a little bracelets on her hand. It was cute. When the two demons called Beatrice's name, a cyclone of gold butterflies picked up throughout the room. Then it took the form of two golden witches. What is this? There are two Beatrices! Well, there are two of us as well. Why should there be two Beatrices every now and then? Why shouldn't there be two Beatrices every now and then? This is my double and my little sister. The two are the same and a single person. Pleased to meet you. It's been a long time, Beatrice-sama. Am I dreaming? I feel the same. Still, it's totally to get dumbfounded. Like Jessica, George had maintained his composure even during this bizarre scene. After all, Sean had already told him what would happen next. None of these people, why not three Beatos? Good question. Well, one of the Beatos is not real, so the one that Butler summoned. She's not actually real. Demons of the contract, it had been so long! Zafar! And you too, Furfur! Isn't Zafar and Furfur name of, like, winds? Am I insane for this? Ah, long time no see! You seem to be in high spirits as always! But look at your cute little sister here! Those juicy eyes... What? Must have the taste of white peaches when they grow teary! Those juicy eyes might have the taste of white peaches when they grow teary. That's his insane quote. She's crazy, okay. Well, I wonder. Zafar and Furfur large soon to be out of from either side, wearing strange smiles. Each moment they made the exaggerated yet polished, as though they were acting out a play. I love them. Leave it at that for now, demons of the contract. To think that tonight will be the last time we see that mischievous spirit. It will be dearly missed. The last time? The brush, your vessel, had already been destroyed. In other words, the role is now finished. Ah, yeah, it's been fun, Beatrice. However, it was decided that the contract was made. It was decided that we must lend our power one more time before a final farewell. Those bracelets are cute as hell. Cute girls are cute. Actually, I love those designs. So this is truly the final miracle. Once is enough for the miracle of love. After all, eternal love will never be needed a second time. There you have it. Lovers, male and female. Gathered here, all those cursed, absent a miracle to gathered here are those cursed, absent a miracle to unsuccessful love. The power of the golden butterfly brooch, which can grant such a miracle, is your last chance, and like it or not, the chance is limited to this evening. This miracle can be given only to a single pair. I won't lose. Yeah, let's both give it our all. Shannon can exchange a serious gaze. Both had already readied themselves to fight for the sake of their love's success. I don't really get it, but I don't want to borrow the power of some strange demon. Jessica was finally starting to figure out the direction things were headed. These demons were probably planning to pit her and Cannon against George and Shannon. Let me be totally clear, we won't need your help. Cannon and I can handle our relationship by ourselves. I'm not gonna be pressured into turning into some shady demons for help. Milady, please listen. If we don't overcome this trial, we cannot be together. Can you explain why? Stop talking in... Jessica accepted. This only trial can be imposed on upstart furniture wishing to be joined with a human. More of this stuff about furniture and humans! Yammer on about all you want. It has nothing to do with us. You still haven't told Milady? I didn't know. Nobody talks in a straightforward manner in this game. That's true. I didn't know how I should explain it. Karan-kun, Shannon, and you, Judge Nissan, why are you listening to these creeps? No one can stand in the way of a person's love, just tell me. Why do I have to get approval from these demons? And it's none of their business. Well, it seems we have quite a troublesome blockhead among us. We couldn't begin the game like this, but that would be hardly fair. Couldn't you explain it for her? I don't understand that spell myself, true? Is there some kind of problem with the love between Jessica-chan and Kanan-kun? Oh my, it seems you understand nothing at all! With our blessing, the pair can cultivate their love at their leisure. No need to worry about suspicious demons. However, without our blessing, the love will vanish, disappear, wither, and decay. How the hell are you so sure? Because it is fate! You will choose not to accept it, you may choose not to resist it! Oh, what happens if you choose not to resist it? That love will end. Well, an abstract explanation isn't so convincing. Well now, how could one explain the dead and fate you're in? Dead end fan you're in, oops. Jeremiah, Jessica, the future you two share is far more grim than you realize. If you don't gain the miracle of magic, the despair will most certainly befall you both. The infection within will fester and split the two of you apart. Even I will not be so foolish as to describe the details of this process. However, if you will not believe Jessica, I will tell you how it ends. Karen will stop being a servant and will leave this island for all eternity. You will probably leave this island yourself in search of the one you love, but such a venture will doubtless be in vain. Yes, and then you will mourn and hate. Hate who? You. Me? No, the you of this moment. With dramatic gestures, the two of them pointed at Jessica. They were saying that if she passed this by, it would be herself who would regret it later. What the hell are you saying? When you have lost the one you love, you will realize how much you hate the person you were when you ran away from the trial to complete that love. Fuck my life. Yes, we are mesmerizing from the you of the future. Please, at this very moment, take your love seriously and fight! And if you don't listen to the message of you from the future, the foolish snake eating its own tail will keep on gulping. The endless cycle of suffering will swallow itself and simply vanish. What the hell are you talking about? Jessica's confusion showed up in her face as anger. However, a memory of something she had heard a long time ago surfaced in the back of her mind. Unlike Nathan, I don't plan on working here for many years. After just a few years, or possibly, if Nathan even decides to stop working here, I think I'll stop working too. Conan-kun. Why are you silent, Kyle-kun? It's literally in your interest to be clear with her. Oh my god. If you give up on the miracle of magic and leave it to Shan and George, they will be joined and leave the island. After all, Karen will leave the island as well. It was an unavoidable fate. Then, what if they can't obtain the miracle of magic? Of course, Karen will remain on this island by Jessica's side for all time. He will probably be able to start learning music with Jessica as she wished for. How their relationship will progress afterwards is a matter for the two lovers. They may deepen their relationship slowly, all by themselves as Jessica wanted. However, if this happens, George-san and I will not be joined. For the sake of our own happiness and futures, we are fated to fight. Are you kidding me? What the hell? So if you are joining the other pair as we'll split apart? What kind of demon's game is this? Don't be mistaken, you will not be taking something from each other. Without the power of a golden butterfly brush, neither love is fated to bear fruit. And who the hell decided that? It's due to your sin of falling in love with furniture, which is not allowed to love. Didn't Kanan clearly reject you, saying that furniture was not qualified to love? Knowing that, you chose Kanan as the one you loved. I won't let you get away with saying you didn't know. Beatrice, I don't actually believe a single word you're saying, so... Although she couldn't accept any of this, Jessica was unable to argue back. Then George spoke up with a soft tone that he always used to smooth things over. Fuck you, George. However, his expression was still ruthlessly serious. Jessica-chan, can't you think of it this way? Think of it what way? I love Shannon. I'm prepared to overcome any and all trials and obstacles that stand in the way of us being together. What about you? Well, yeah. One of the two setbacks aren't gonna stop me. I'm tougher than that. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Right now we are being tested. Tested to see who can display the strength of our feelings more strongly. Literally a reality show. Are you actually satisfied with this insanity? There is no need to be satisfied. When I gave Shannon this engagement ring, I swore to fight all trials and barriers that stand in my way. No matter how unreasonable or incomprehensible those trials might be, backing down is not an option. If those, lovely ladies... Oh my god, this just grows and grows! If those two lovely ladies... Ooh! Their design actually cute! Okay, if they used to said that it's their last time on the case, what the fuck they were in the beginning with Butler and Erika's marriage, huh? The part, one of the 72 great demons, presided over love and tests others through trials. Therefore grants the conductor undying, unmeasurable defensive power that gives the conductor the courage not to dread any of love's wounds. A hunter of love who loves to prey upon passive men, literally succubus, is of a different gender than a furfur. What? Scandalous. Huh. Okay. Furfur, one of the 72 great demons, presides over love and tests others through trials. Furfur grants the conductor endless, inexhaustible offensive power. This gives the conductor the courage not to fear any of love's barriers. A trainer of love who teaches passive men the taste of flesh. Is this sane? He's of a different genre than Zephyr. Huh. Okay. Is there any more new characters? Maybe? Is there any more new demons? George spoke clearly, then looked at Jessica with a cold gaze. By now, Jessica almost understood. If she kept on grumbling and refusing the demon's trial, the game between the two groups would automatically end with her defeat by default. In other words, George and Shannon would win. Then they would gain the miracle of magic, their love would be completed, and Jessica and Conan would split apart, and Conan eventually leaving the island and never seeing her again. We need a character in a cast of like normal people who would be super excited, who would be in the middle of the doll and would be super excited to be here and would be like having fun for a change. I mean, we have Maria, but Maria is not that often here and she's kind of annoying. I need like a grown-up person who's usually normal, but when they go into all this magical bullshit, they like clapping their hands and being super happy and excited. Because it's kind of fun. It's upsetting that nobody acknowledged it. I can't pronounce words. Personally, nothing would make me happier than you backing out of this trial. This way, I wouldn't have to fight you. And it would reveal just how little you actually feel for Karan-kun. Shut up, George! You're literally in no position to trash talk me! It seemed as though George spoke ruthlessly, but he was actually being exceptionally fair. If it came to a loss by default, Jessica would never be able to clear away her lingering regrets. That would leave a bad aftertaste even for George. We just fight fair and square for just a single miracle. Even if we lose at the end, I'll be able to accept it if we both give out our all, and because of that, I will be able to cheer on the victors from the bottom of my heart. Is this part of that Butler wrote? Like, where are those two right now in the real world? Are they just missing? Maybe it's like a dream? Maybe they're sleeping? George's determination is quite impressive. After hearing all that, are you still going to run away? The two demons giggled and challenged her. Of course, George didn't laugh, but he too challenged her with cold eyes. Oh, we're almost at 2 hours. Time to take a break. And Shannon? Please forgive me, milady. For the sake of being joined with George-san, I am determined not to flinch in my resolve. Even if I know that staying true to my heart well means the end of your loving relationship. Shannon had never before spoken to Jessica with such a serious and solemn words. Jessica was surprised to realize just how strong the determination was that dwelt within her usually weak and clumsy friend. Karan-kun. You guys are annoying. Taking a break, 5 minutes, be right back. Oops, I talked to chat for like a little bit. Oops, without not being muted. Yay! 3 minutes of content was just being destroyed. Oh well. Nobody heard my bad Japanese. Oh no, we're back to this shit. Can we skip to it? Can we go to the good part? I don't know. I want to start a new life with you, my lady, even if that life means crushing Nessen's happiness. That's not really nice. I will not falter now. Khan was also doing all he could to be strong. Yeah, all of them were being serious and frank and abandoning any naivety that they... Fuck, I also didn't pour myself water. What was I doing for these 5 minutes? And abandoning any naivety they might have possessed. All this about golden butterfly brooches and miracles of magic, and the trial that the demons were given them. None of it mattered. Only the one thing was being tested, whether or not they possessed the strong will to make their love come true. Jessica clenched her fists and hung her head, shaking by biting her lower lip. She was silent, but she would probably gain an unswerving will of steel before too long. She just needed a little time first. The 2 demons who taunted people with dramatic gestures did not violate the silence that Jessica needed to resolve herself. Love brings about conflict, and this conflict gives rise to determination. Does it though? As the demons of love, they could understand more fully than any other how noble the determination was. Jessica-san, furthermore, this magical miracle is something that can be received by you as well. By me too? What do you mean? She had thought this had been about 2 pairs of lovers, yet I was surprised to suddenly hear that it had something to do with her as well. It was the miracle of the golden butterfly brooch. Even your wish. That your affection for Butler will be acknowledged can be granted easily. Isn't it going to be awkward right now when he thinks of you as his daughter? Maybe. And without that miracle, you too will also never be bound. What the fuck? Who said this? Like, I don't believe a word you say, Beatrice. You kinda sucked for all I know. It means you're no outsider to this either. To cut across the marshes of love. Is that your wish? Is it not? We will not make you light of your wish. Even your relationship with Butler will eventually fester and rot. Even you, with your optimistic attitude, must understand that this fate will eventually come to pass, bearing some kind of miracle. Well... Beata hung her head sadly. She wasn't about to let the cookie incident break her spirits. However, it would have been a massive lie to say that it didn't hurt her. The more she tried to get close to Butler, the more she hurt him. However, she had been born in order to get close to Butler. She was like a hedgehog freezing in the cold and bunching together with others for warmth. She had approached him because of love and had been hurt for it. Sonic the Hedgehog? If you understand this much, entrusting your fate in a miracle may prove to be of some interest. As they say, an unbought lottery ticket earns you nothing. Yeah, but lottery tickets are scam, honey. Just saying. Zephyr Furfur. Let my little sister join in too. Oh, of course. Welcome, Saga Beatrice. We'll plan on including you from the very beginning. After all, we are Zephyr and Furfur, the demons of love. It's alright if I join in? If you want to, I don't see a problem. I won't prevent anyone from entering. We'll win against all hindrances and make everyone celebrate a union. Of course, it's the same the other way around. If you succeed in love Perifenias at our best, then both Shannon and I promise to sincerely support the part that wins. Right, Shannon? Yes, we will not lose. And even if we did, we would cheer on you from the bottom of our hearts. I feel the same. I will not lose. Well, if there's no way out of this fight, let's show them what we got. Neither R nor Kalankun have any intentions of losing without a fight. You feel the same, I assume? Yes. Is there even a small chance that father... no. That Butler-san will acknowledge me. I'm willing to put myself in a line. Well said. Good going, little sister. Zubar, Furfur, your actions, the actors had gathered. Ooh. Then let's begin, Furfur. Yes, let's begin, Zafar. Let's begin the trials of lovers, the fights, our simple miracle of magic. Enchiridion. Oh no. Should have finished before the break, but whatever. Self-reliance. Let me pour some water, okay? While we have time. Yeah. Oh, Erika time! Yay! Ouch. Erika. Erika has returned to the room that had been given to her on the second floor of the guest house. Oops. The next room over was empty. It was very quiet here. Even pressing her ear against the wall wouldn't enable her to listen to the voices in the cousin's room. Even with hearing power boosted by the detective's authority, it would probably be impossible to make out anything. This room was the farthest down the hall, a long ways away from the cousin's room. Are we gonna see how Erika does all of this insane shit? Last time my room was next to theirs. I see. So he placed my room farther away this time. The power of authority given to the Game Master permits a level of modification to the initial arrangement. It is perhaps a quite reasonable first move. Well, that suits me too. I have no desire to listen to those bright, squeaky voices as I play cards. The whole time, Erika has been sitting at the desk working at something. She was preparing some of those duct tape seals from before. She had asked Masawa for the stickiest tape available. She drew a complicated, unforgettable signature on which a permanent marker and added slits through it. By sticking this over a plate that she wanted to prove had remained closed, she could create a powerful seal equal in strength to a red truth. Those menacing seals had cornered Natsuhi so thoughtfully in the previous game. Oh, she has a tape now! Whoa. Great. Is something wrong? He got me. The butler doesn't let anything get by him, does he? Erika shrugged and showed the piece of duct tape she had cut off to Lenore. By sight alone, Lenore couldn't tell what had annoyed Erika. However, as soon as she held the tape, she realized the differences right away. This won't be any good. Yeah, it's barely sticky at all. This won't reach even close to the red truth. Even duct tape can be of low quality, it's something gets weaker with age. The tape Kumasawa had found was a bit too weak, even for normal use. It wasn't nearly sticky enough to be used as a detective seal. It is possible to tear it off cleanly. It cannot serve as a proof of seal. I guess Butler isn't totally incompetent as I thought. He probably tampered with all the duct tape on the island using the authority of a game master. Insane. Getting Erika get your hands on the duct tape gave you a fatal weapon to use against witches. Did they draw a whole sprite for her holding a tape and they only gonna use it once? That's crazy commitment. And so Butler had removed that weapon from the entire mansion. Most likely, all possible substitutes for duct tape will also be tampered with. Probably. Well, it isn't really too bad. At least this way, I won't have to look like a fool crawling all over the other wall in a cold rain. Erika tossed the duct tape aside and flopped spread-eagled on the floor, on the bed. Well, detectives do have a penchant for puffing on a pipe while watching calmly for a crime to occur. I doubt there'll be any part of you to play until the first twilight begins, so why not vanish off somewhere and take smoking break? I imagine that looking at my face will do nothing more than tire you out. I do not smoke. I'm just a kid. Oh, really? I wish I could. Well, only if it reality you. Only if it really as refreshing as smokers claim. It seems that you're not in a high spirits. Does it look this way? Erika answered lazily, still looking up at the ceiling. That in itself was half an answer. The silence between the two was filled by the sound of wind and rain. It was so quiet that it was hard not to listen to the ticking of the clock. Squeaky chair. Lady Erika, may I ask a question? Depends on what it is. Answer probably no, though. Well, we're just killing time anyway. What is it? Well, we're just killing time anyway. What is it? Erika probably bored as well. Or maybe the sound of rain was making her sentimental. She assented, which was very unlike her. Why is it that you hate magic? Time for Erika to say magic killed my dog or something. Let's go! Oh, you mean that thing downstairs was magia? This was nothing more than a foolish trick to deceive children. Everyone knew that. Was it really necessary to go so far to destroy this illusion? I cannot understand. It had been a childish fight. Erika didn't need Lenore to tell you that. Well, I'm self-proclaimed the actual— Stop saying this word! I can't understand how magic confuse the truth. And so you feel pleasured from exposing that? I sense a different emotion. A different emotion? What's that? I lost their voices. To me, it feels less like pleasure and more like a different, negative emotion. You really are a murder doll, aren't you? Even your eyes are like knotholes. My apologies. Please forgive me. Erika rolled over grumpily, turning her back to Lenore. Because of this, Lenore couldn't see her expression. Even so, for some reason, she could guess that this completely unobservant expression was out of pain. Interpreting this to mean that Erika wanted her to go away, Lenore had a bow and made her leave. Why would you bow if Erika can see it? Then Erika suddenly spoke. The words came so far out of blue that Lenore doubted her ears, and she had to ask Erika to say it again. What did you just say? I love you. It really was out of blue. Lenore wanted to ascertain that Erika really meant, but the letters still had her back turned and her face was out of sight. Thank you very much. I was going out with another girl before. Oh my god! I was going out with another girl before, but I've completely broken up with her. Others are gonna be jealous of us and say things that aren't true, but I don't pay them any attention. I'm gonna devote my whole life to you, so I want you to do the same for me. Let's find happiness together. Lenore avoided asking what she was talking about and stood here in silence. For a while, Jessica kept on speaking in this dull and emotionless tone, repeating soppy phrases that might have popped up in some shoujo manga. Then, unexpectedly, she once again followed up with a complete non sequitur. In your wallet. Of course, she had no idea what Erika was saying. However, with her back still to Lenore, Erika kept on saying disconnected words. A strange cat keychain, a different style of cologne, a music tape that is not his style, which he said he borrowed from an acting colleague. A colleague asked him to come and he couldn't turn him down. Work suddenly called him in. His body called him up and he couldn't get off the phone. I'm cheating, okay? He made too much curry. He started going to theater practice more often. He started folding paper towels differently. Thanks, I've already eaten. He knew more than before about cosmetics. Sorry, I was sleeping. The toilet seat was left down. He spent the night. Oh, okay. They spent the night over his stage friend's place. Me and my accent friends had a party here. Someone just left it behind. The drain and sink were cleaned out. There were receipts and points cards from the places he didn't usually go. The muddy soles, the evidence that you went on Monday when it was raining. It matches a strange symbol on the calendar. None of your theater friends have hair this long. Leading questions. How do you know the plot of a movie you haven't seen yet? Evidence, criminal evidence, observation, surveillance, tracking, trailing, information gathering, wiretapping, asking around, questioning. I found plenty of evidence that I loved you. I found plenty of evidence that you loved me. But I can't find any evidence that you hadn't been cheating on me. Give it a rest. If you love me, then trust me. If you can't do it, then you don't love me anymore. How could I love someone like this? I'll treasure you for all my life, but I want to do well in theater just as much. You said you like seeing me act, right? So why are you telling me to stop acting now? Why do I have to choose between you and acting? What's wrong with you? I'm seriously tired of this, alright? Look, if all we have to do is fight when we see each other, maybe we both need some time off to cool off. Fuck my life. Maybe we both need some time to cool off, okay? I need to concentrate for my next performance anyway. One of my colleagues, she suddenly told me she won't be able to perform. I need to rewrite the script by tomorrow. I don't have time for this. You know what? If you really find it this hard to trust me, we're through. Don't bother coming over again. Just go home. I don't love you anymore. Stop crying. God, you're obnoxious. Go kill yourself, you creep. Stop shouting, damn it. I've got neighbors. Just get the hell away from me and never come back. I'm having fun. Without love, it cannot be seen? Ha! That's backwards. Because of love, you end up seeing things that don't even exist. It's like this meme when she abnormal. She's the best character, I love her so much. It's nothing more than an illusion, one that no one except you can see, and no one that even you, and no one that, and one that ever you can never touch. Without love, humans would never need to see that fiction, because we can see it without. We suffer, we cry out loud. Right now, I'm happy. Though it may be temporary, I have become the Witch of Truth. As I am now, I no longer need to worry about being tormented by non-red words. What about you? How would you have countered my endgame? How would I? That useless man wasn't for him to be my opponent. I was wondering how you would have countered it. Counter it. Lenore was suddenly thrust into a position of Erica's opponent in a witch's game she had once challenged that man with. That man. Lenore shared in the fragments of Erica's past, allowing her to grasp the full situation. The board was reproduced in full inside of their heads. The situation was one-sided. Erica's side has constructed the blue truth based on countless bills of circumstantial evidence, had turned all of those into pieces, and was already cornering the opponent. For some time, Lenore thought in silence, and announced her by-the-book response. First move. I request that you submit evidence that I have been cheating. Counter with the blue truth. I present empty points of circumstantial and physical evidence. Counter with the blue truth. I present 6 points of circumstantial and physical evidence that I still love you. Good. Good. Blue and blue cancel each other out, but the number of pieces used to construct each is overwhelmingly unbalanced. When both opponents meet with the blue truth, the decision is almost always based on which side has more pieces of evidence, regardless of the actual circumstances. This is especially true in the human world. So, by the standard rules, Erica would win. First point to me, your next move. I will attempt to switch offense and defense. I'll ask you that, ready, Erica, provide proof that you are not cheating. Perpetual check. That's a forbidden move, since I'd result in endless repetition of the same question, going both ways. And I frankly declare that, despite the lack of proof, I still love you, even now. Not red truth and therefore invalid. Even if it was red, it'd be a stalemate. After all, I'd have no move to counter with. Lenore remained silent for a while. She responded quietly to Erika's moves, as Erika drew closer and closer to checkmate. I love how they checkmating the relationship that somebody had. A stalemate is a forbidden move in the game of witches, since it meant the ruin of the game. However, in chess, it also represents a draw. Because of this, it is a splendid final move that the weaker player can pull off if they are already unable to win outright. In this situation, Erika clearly had an advantage. It was natural that Lenore, her opponent, would seek a stalemate to obtain a draw. However, that only worked in chess. In the game where witches fought over the truth, it's a forbidden move. So it was already checkmate from the very beginning. Lenore had no way to turn the game around. But it means that regardless of the real truth had been, this game would... Any other moves? Witch hunter Archbishop, protector of the truth? No, I resign. No, they broke up. See, here you go. Erika is successful in crushing her opponent with the truth she espoused, that her former boyfriend no longer loved her and was cheating on her. Her opponent had no way to argue back. After all, humans are not allowed to use. A splendid game, a splendid finish from a superior position. Regardless of the truth of your opponent, Erika could win. Yeah, Erika won, but was it a win? Was it actually a win? A splendid victory. Lenore could only respond with silence, and with that, Erika spoke no more. She had probably done talking and wanted Lenore to leave. Lenore understood this, but even so, she wanted to tell Erika just one thing before leaving. A splendid game, Lady Erika. It's only natural that the detective wins. Even before you became Lady Bacastell's piece, you truly were a splendid fielder of a blue truth. However, Lady Erika, humans are only allowed to use blue truth, and the only thing they can counter blue truth is red truth, and humans are not allowed to use red truth. In this case, how should your opponent have shown his truth? Who knows? Maybe he should have used that gold truth or whatever, which is supposed to be stronger than a red truth at times. Certainly he was a victor in this game. However, allow me to say that this as a protector of the truth. What? I imagine it's something unpleasant, so say it and go away. Yes, our game did end with your victory. However, you still have not denied the 6 points of blue truth evidence that I showed to claim that I still loved you. Even you are a human. You are unable to use the red truth that would disprove those points. Later on, I used the detective authority to have all 84 points transform into a red truth, by the power of my master. I am human, yet superior to humans, a detective and a witch. I am the witch of truth, Frederica. Any other question? Parting remarks? I have none. In this case, please excuse me. So smug. Lenore bowed and disappeared. After that, all that remained was a single witch of truth laughing off a bitter past, with an equally bitter smile. Should I somehow know who Erika referring to? As her theater ex-boyfriend? Erika glanced at the bedside clock and saw that it was almost exactly midnight. Well, I suppose I should get a little sleep. The curtain has finally risen on the second day, October 5th. I wonder if the first of this game murders is happening somewhere about now. I hope our victims leave us some interesting dying message this time. Oh, hello. First time. Damn. Why didn't you discuss it with your mother? This is about the partner who's supposed to support you throughout the rest of your life. That's right. She's the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. And that's why you need to choose very carefully, right? How can you be so rash? Young George could be seen beneath the eaves of a guest house. George had revealed his engagement with Shannon. Eva's anger had exposed almost instantly. This had been no more than George had expected, so he had responded with a close, ice-cold claim. Don't tell me you consummated your relationship already. She told you she was pregnant to force you into marriage, didn't she? How rude. I'm a strong believer that chastity is to be preserved before marriage. Cringe. Then why an engagement? I asked her. She accepted. What more could be needed? No, it's all wrong! Marriage isn't as easy as it looks in manga or whatever you think it of. What about your parents? Relationship between the two families? You're not some stray alley cat. You're Shiramiya George. How could you be so rushed now when you might even be selected as grandfather's successor? Why didn't you consult me? I'm consulting you right now. No, not consulting, I suppose. I'm just informing you. I've never pinned my hopes on being selected as grandfather's successor. In fact, I'd rather refuse it if it come to that. I want to build up my own country and castle from scratch, just like father did. Look, do you realize how hard your father worked to get where he is? That's not something you could duplicate just by imitating him. Do you have any idea how often he was saved by luck and coincidence? And he got through it because he had you, his wonderful life partner, by his side. Sai is the kind of person who'd support me and transform me into an even stronger man. You praised me for becoming the adult that I was, but that could never have happened without her. Huh? Listen, George. Just let your mother handle this now. Cool your hand and think very carefully. Shan-chan isn't the only person interested in you, you know? The girl you had that marriage meeting with, Ayumi-san, she really took a liking to you. That's the first time I've heard of it. I thought you knew! Your parents were also very impressed by you. If you really dream to build your own castle like your father, Ayumi-san is the one who's really be able to help you, right? Do you intend to betray your feelings? Who give a fuck about some girl? There is nothing to betray. There was never any special relationship between Ayumi-san and me. We just had a marriage meeting and our parents got all fired up afterwards. You made us go out together several times, but we never ever looked each other in the eye. Ayumi-san is a well-bred, honest woman. She just couldn't look at you because you're a man. It would be embarrassing and ill-mannered. If you can feel anything from her unless she look at you when she talks, I'll advise you of that. I'm sure she'll look at you from now on. You want me to marry Ayumi-chan because it will benefit you. You aren't pushing the engagement for the sake of anyone but yourself. George, how can you say that? Have I ever failed to think what's best for you? I haven't I? How's the parent Enchiridion? Second one is view, first one is a tree. It stands... Oh, yeah. It is stand. It is stand on top of a tree and a look. Okay. I never actually see the one for stand as a kanji for stand. I just see it as a bunch of lines. But tree is a tree and look is a look. I agree. That's what we've been doing, surveying your entire future from hate far greater than you have access to. And from a vantage point, we can see that you're letting your momentary useful emotion lead you down the wrong path. Oh, Mom, shut up. That's why I'm saying that I'm even going... That's why I'm saying that I am, even though I know you hate me for... Kill me. If I didn't care for you, we wouldn't be having this fight. I just tell you to marry whatever strange girl you like and leave you be. You hear me, George? Leave this to your mother. There's no need for you to meet this Chan-Chan anymore. We'll take care of everything for you. Don't worry, we won't have Chan-Chan mistreated. After all, it's thanks to her that you've grown so much, right? Oh my god. Made me so mad. We'll take this into account, so leave the rest to us. George! Sometime during Eva's rage, tears had started to drip from her eyes. Although those tears had caused him to hesitate, George turned his back and shrugged his shoulders. George was, after all, only a child of man. Though he understood that marriage required nothing more than the consent of both people, he couldn't get over his desire for his parents' acceptance. Lol. And so he was torn between the tears of a mother who had always helped him and his fiancé he had chosen. Or was he? No, George, what the fuck? I think it's time. It's time. Now. Huh? All my life, you've done a great job raising me, and I'm truly grateful for that. When I have children and become a parent, I'll become a parent like you. I'll be the kind of parent Oh, breathing is so hard. I'll be the kind of parent most worthy of respect in the entire world, one who can truly fight for these children's sake. George! With his back still towards her, George threw away his umbrella and slowly stepped out from beneath the eaves into the rain. Then he slowly turned around. So dramatic. And without a doubt, the familiar face of Eva's beloved son. However, he stood here now as his own man, self-controlled and independent enough that the blood connection between them might have been forgotten. I think it's about time now. For what? For you to let go of your son, mother. Let's talk this out as people, not as mother and son. I am George. You are Eva. Let's drop because I'm your parent routine, speak for ourselves, and say what we really mean. The reason you want to choose the person I marry is for financial reasons, public appearance, and so you can posture in that still continuing quarrel between you and the siblings. You have no other reason. You'll do well to just come clean and admit it now. I'm going to start speaking on my own behalf. I suggest you do the same. You'll lose, I'm warning you. George's eyes no longer contained any trace of his love and respect for his mother. There was only a frigid glare that he gazed ruthlessly down at the witch who was trying to blind his future. Okay, that was too much. George, why are you looking at your mother like this? Eva. Because I'm not looking at my mother right now. All I see is wall, a trial, standing in the way for the future I'm trying to grasp. You're your own person too. I know that you have dreams and ambitions, and that you're still chasing after those. And I think it's a wonderful thing. We also know how hard it is for a person to chase their dreams without giving up. I need to inherit your wonderful strength. I've learned a lot from my parents, my friends, and Saya, and I've grown. And that final, finished product, after everything I learned and acquired, is the real Ushirimiya, George. Now I'll overcome the final barrier. You. No, don't hit her. What? You had disappeared. The pouring rain landed evenly across the ground everywhere. No, it was blocked very slightly in one place. However, there was no one here. Standing on the ground isn't the only way to block the path of the rain. Then, could it be? Hi! Hi! I miss her. I miss you, Eva Beatrice. Alright then, something it's good to be brutally honest. I'll speak my mind. So why don't you just lay down here forever? The rain-filled sky with the moon that shouldn't have been visible behind her was the golden witch of the future who had finally obtained everything of the Shremia family. Even the drastic changes in his mother's appearance didn't faze George. On the contrary, he seemed to be moved by her boldness, because his mother was honestly and truly displayed her true nature. Now I can confidently show her my true self. Here we go, mother. Here we go, Eva. This is my first step towards escaping from your shackles. First step? With that first step, he felt something odd beneath his feet. He knew that was sticky sensation, which didn't quite feel like mud, represented his mother's arrogance trying to prevent him from making that first step. I used to read to you all the time when you were little, didn't I? Do you remember your favorite story, Journey to the West? Ooh, okay. Radical? That takes me back. That's probably the first fantasy I really loved. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, wanted to become a god and was tested by the Buddha. The Buddha told him, if you can jump free from the palm of my head, I will grant you your wish. When Sun Wukong managed to reach what he thought was the end of the world, and found 5 pillars standing here, only to discover that they were Buddha's fingers and that he still hadn't left the Buddha's hand. Are you saying that's my first step is like? Your resistance, your conflict, your anguish, and self-restraint, and everything else. All of it is a road I once traveled down. This first step of yours would be overwhelmed by my life. How long are you gonna turn a blind eye on it? Why not look at what you're standing on? On the pitch-black earth, soaked by pounding rain, there were what appears to be ominously glowing band of ants. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. And George had placed his first pet directly on top of one. It was deep and vicious, and it helped George food in place. From Eva's perspective, as she looked down from the sky, it looked like a vast red spider web that radiated out of George and its center. That's right. This is me, tied down by a life of constant instructions, and raised solely for the sake of your ambitions. No, you're wrong about that. Let me make it so you can understand. I'll show you. And then you realize the truth forever. The vast red spider web on the ground scooped up George as easily as scooping scum off the pot. Then it lifted him into the air like a deer caught in a net and swung him about. Eva's insane laugh was as innocent as a grade schooler happily swinging about a bag filled with her gym clothes, and cruel in equal measure. Oh! Come on, try to remember, okay? What happened on Tuesdays? They even give her a new portrait, new retreat. Of course I remember. It was piano lessons. I will still cringe when I hear I stepped on a cat. You did violin in kindergarten. That's the sort of instrument you expect smart kids to play, right? But you didn't seem to have the talent, so we switched you over to piano. Oh yeah, because piano is the instrument that you don't need any talent to play, sure. What the fuck? Then, do you remember Wednesdays? I remember. That was a day from cram school. It was so far away and a real pain to have to travel to. And Tuesdays? Supplemental lessons. You were just terrible at subject with memorization, weren't you? You could apply your knowledge, but they were horrible at learning by rote. A classic, you can do it if you try, kid. Literally me. That one's done. Those are the most annoying words a kid can hear at the parent-teacher conference. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's a British proverb, isn't it? Making you motivated and keeping you this way was the hardest thing to do. What are they doing? Are they having fun? Maybe? Sounds of fun? George was bound hand and foot by the bright red spiderweb produced as a witch's plaything. She would innocently swing him around and smash him about, always an insane laugh, again and again. Do you remember Fridays? Of course. As far as after-school lessons go, this one was pretty unique. Having a parent present while I studied was a tried experience in multiple ways. Don't buy your child a fishing rod, go fishing with him. You do like a British education, don't you, mother? Those lessons were pain for us parents too. But for you, this was the most effective one. The monthly fee was high, but it was a pain to have to spend Friday nights here every week. But it was most effective. That's when I realized. Kids don't grow unless their parents watch over them. If children are sprouts, then parents are the sun. Insane woman. No plants would bud and no flowers would bloom without the sun. Still bound hand and foot, George was thrown, slammed, and smashed. He could do nothing. He was still like San Wukong, unable to leave the palm of his mother's hand. However, since he wouldn't surrender, he could still show resistance at any time. Then what about Sunday? What about Saturday? That's when the tutor came. He came to our house, which made it much easier, right? It was painful to have to invite other person into my own room, my shared space, every single week. I hated the sweaty smell he left behind so much that I still can remember it. He was a wonderful teacher who drilled a scholarly attitude into you. His monthly fees were on par with the lawyer's consultation fee, and it was well worth it. And when it came to Sunday, followed by Monday, when I didn't have any extra school, the only 2 days when I could have some rest. How ironic. So it was those extra classes from Tuesday until Sunday that were holding me down all this time. I really was just like San Wukong. Yeah, if you think you can escape from the palm of my hand, you can even have the arrogance crushed by the Buddha's 5 mountains. San Wukong, who wanted to become a god, was crushed by the 5 mountains of fire, water, food, metal, earth, and sealed away. These are 5 elements at the day of the week, Tuesday through Sunday, all named in Japanese. Yeah, we know. Only now that George, who had always admired San Wukong, recognized this greatest of ironies. Just like San Wukong, you need some reflection and punishment for your arrogance. Isn't it the end of a story of a San Wukong? I never read it. But I'm kinda aware of it, slightly. Oh, let me stretch. Ouch. We should go for like as much as we can today. Just like San Wukong, you need some reflection and punishment for your arrogance. If you show that you're willing to reform yourself, I'll release you. That's not being released, it's brainwashing. Ugh. There's no need to think about anything. Why not just leave everything to Mama forever? I'll decide everything for you. It's just the best kind of life for you. Oh, it's awful. I'll marriage the most intellectual and selfless woman in the world for you. I'll prepare you every success and even pave the way here. And eventually, you will be chosen for your highest honor in the Shiremiya family, the position of successor to the head. That's when you think about being life for yourself. The first step? Don't make me laugh, you still haven't been born yet. This isn't my web that you're caught in. You're caught in my craving, nurturing womb. Cringe. Crazy. Shit. George had slammed against the ground over and over. It was heartless cruelty, unlike anything one could expect a blood-related son to receive. However, in Eva's eyes, perhaps even this was a sign of love for her precious son. The human-shaped blob of flesh entered in a red net, was slammed over and over, then thrown high into the air, but it was caught by a massive spiderweb suspended in the sky. Oops. George, me. Oh heck, so deadly. George hung here pitifully as though crucified, still covered in the flesh blood and not even twitching. Even if there had been some power to resist remaining to him, the red web holding him here would have held even that in check. The rain, which had been falling non-stop since the beginning, quietly tormented and pitied him. Cool your head while you seated on the 5 mountains. I'm not telling you to stop because I think Sharon Chen's a bad kid, okay? She's a great girl, the one who gave you the chance you needed to grow up. But an ill-considered engagement is a whole different matter. It isn't because there is a problem with her. Understand that? Don't criticize the friend, criticize the behavior. Right? That's another piece of British advice. I really did raise you to be a smart kid. No, I'm still raising you. Inside my belly, that is. Stop saying this! You just need to be nurtured a little longer. Okay, that's enough punishment, so apologize to your mother. The spiderweb released George reluctantly. Then it threw him to the ground beneath the cloud sky. Thank you, Mother. It was all George could do to get up on his hands and knees. Though he wiped the mud away and stood his ground, he still couldn't raise his head. Everything you've done so far, you've done for me, haven't you? Thank you. Thanks for everything. That's right, you must hate me right now, but one day you'll be grateful. I'm sure you understand how much I loved you. All those restricting extra classes from Tuesday to Saturday were your sincere efforts to raise me to be a great man. That's another British phrase. To drop a child's blessing is the greatest education of all. Thank you. I'll give you a British saying in return. What's that? Take one chop at every tree, and none of them will fall. Huh? And what does that mean? Maybe this one is clearer. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. Francis Bacon. No! Francis Bacon mentioned! So cringe! The man drenched in mud of flesh blood, straightened his crooked glasses, and slowly stopped fucking Francis fucking Bacon. Ooh, what next? Eschatism? No, it's not called Eschatism, isn't it? It's called something else. Oh well. I can make any bit of it out of it. And slowly stood up. Though he was covered in filth, his appearance had divine quality to it. Something it could only appear on a self-controlled man, not the one who had merely been dosing his mother amniotic fluid. I cannot count the number of things I have learned from Saya. She taught me courage and chivalry, how to be ambitious and witty and humorous and just a little stylish. It's ironic. Most all the things you say so wonderful about me don't come from you at all. So true. George, you're still going on about? Time to get back in mother's womb. I'll nurture you in the sea of warmth once more. As Eva howled, another bright red spiderweb appeared at George's feet and tried to scoop him up into the air again. It's all part of the trial, right? However, at this instant, a powerful magic circle could be seen in the area, surrounded George for just a moment. Faster than he could be scooped by the spiderweb, George jumped, and with a sharp kick and a heel and a magnificent forward flip, he cut the shackles of the spiderwebs apart. Huh? That smooth movement proved that he had possessed the power to escape from those shackles all along. He had willingly allowed himself to be bound by the web. Everything I owe you for what I've done, I've paid back now with pain. Now I can finally leave the nest for good. It really is necessary, isn't it, to have the occasional argument with one's parents? George, why would you disobey me so completely for a stupid girl? It looks like it really is you who need to let go, Mother. So, if you're ready? Ready for what? If you're ready, may I fight back? The curtain of spiderwebs that Eva shot out in the fence were all too slow. George wavered through them in an instant, and the next he was right before her eyes. She screamed. Eva jumped out of the way of a kick that would have knocked her feet out from under her, then blocked the second half of George's double roundhouse with her high kick of her own. So, I guess there is some extracurricular activity I can thank you for. Oh, and what day of the week was that? It's a martial class, art classes that you make me attend whenever I have a long break from school. I'm not impressed. I'm glad, George, to hear that you're grateful for at least one thing. Your mother is happy. Yeah. Eva's swift feet flashed like lightning. Low, mid-level attack. Fighting game terms, okay? As George's head fell forwards, he caught it in both hands as though he was about to smash it against the ground. It was when met with Eva's knee as it rose like a bolt of lightning from the earth. You should have learned Muay Thai too. It would have been more fun to have learned it with you. You're right. I had the most fun when I was learning martial arts with you. Then now it's the most fun. Isn't it fun, George? Isn't it? Do you find it fun, Mother, to play with your son like this? Yes, I do. You're my darling son, and I give you lots of love inside my belly. I even love the way you kick inside me. Got it. But this kick's coming from the outside of your belly. The fuck? George buried his knees sharply into Eva's abdomen. An instant before she felt the pain of a fierce attack, Eva watched her son's kick with a proud smile, and then she vomited. You're getting on in years, Mother. Maybe it's about time you held back on very childish clothes like this. George! Her chin still covered in vomit, Eva looked up at George in twisted anguish. This is crazy. She could see how pathetic her face was by the reflection of the glasses. Both you and I need to leave our childhood days behind. So long, Mother! Pulls out a gun. I'm sorry. So long. Farewell. The violent lightning and rain made time freeze. George's beautiful kick had stopped an inch from Eva's chest. However, the power of red magic circles surrounded George had already pierced Eva's body. Though he had stopped without hitting her, blood poured out of Eva's back. No wound can be left on her chest, but the heart inside it had been stuck through. Eva slumped backwards and landed in a puddle with a splash. There was no convulsion. Her life had been ended without leaving her even an instant to whine about in pain. I know you're somewhere out here, Gop. As he turned on his glasses, George spoke to the roses kid behind him. Why does he remember Gop? Then a pitch black hole opened in the air here, and Gop jumped out. I love Gop, she's so silly. Impressive! Even considering that it was before her ascension, you managed to beat Eva Beatrice. I thought you were here. Thanks for not interfering. I'm glad we are able to keep it between mother and son. Don't take me! I wasn't here! You summoned me just now! It doesn't matter, is it, Ray? I have something to ask of you. Do I have some duty to listen? Will you not do this for me? With his back still facing her, George reset his glasses. The threat in his voice held the solemn presence of a king who ruled over demons. His Majesty made Gop gulp, and she licked her lips before bowing respectfully to his back. Ooh. I like stats, but I like monarchs even more. You wish in my command, your demonic majesty. I want you to lay your body to the rest, in place fitting for a woman who admired the head of the Shiremiya family, and who lived her life with the misguided dreams of this position. So George actually killed her, huh? Okay. This is actually insane, if it's true. So, in Kinza's study? No. The VIP room would be good. That never opened VIP room on the second floor of the mansion. Ah, this room. As you wish, your majesty. Is Gop like made too or something? In real life? In umineko real life. Gop approached Eva's corpse and lightly tapped the ground with her right heel. When she did, a large hole opened up, swallowed both Gop and the corpse, and closed. After a while, a small hole opened in the air, and the staff Eva always carried, which was marked with a one-winged eagle that symbolized the head of a Shiremiya family, was spat into a puddle, because the corpse would no longer have any use for it. George slowly approached the staff and stepped down the heart on the tip. Strong evidence, when he did, the staff spun violently into the air, and after passing by the blue moon which honored the Demon King, it flew into George's outstretched hand. George Beatrice? New sprite? Please. The instant he gasped, and the fierce bolt of lightning struck nearby, and by the time the flash faded, the staff he was holding had become a spray of gold butterflies and disappeared. It was as though George had held the staff up to the heavens and crushed it out of existence. Who's here? Oh. And now, I finished my part. I'll let someone else have a turn. I can't believe! You killed your own mother! It's a person who loved you first in the world. And the last one you have to separate yourself from. That's what it means to leave your home. This is the courage I'm capable of showing to take Saya as my wife. George-sama. Bravo, Shiremiya George. An excellent start. Even though it was just within a game, even though she was just a piece, I didn't like having to kill my mother. However, this was the trial you set me, so I saw through it. Do you know, I recently rewatched Star Wars, and I thought that Luke is gonna kill Darth Vader, but he actually didn't. I was kinda upset, especially because I don't know, because Star Wars is so religious, it would be kind of funny if Luke would kill Anakin. But he didn't! Speaking of Star Wars, there's this trend on TikTok where girls putting two pictures over the sound, which is like, Anakin is dead, I what remains. And first time I heard it, I had so much fun with it. I was like, holy shit, why is he talking about Anakin? Why would girl post a picture over Anakin with Star Wars fucking sound? This is kind of funny and crazy at the same time. Okay, it's not that crazy, it's just funny. The girl was cute too, like... I like Anakin. Anakin's my favorite character. Even though I probably never finished watching second trilogy full on. I have it. I should watch it. I should finish watching it. It's so boring because it's so full of like fucking Palpatine bullshit garbage politics that's so annoying. And Anakin's like the only good character in it. Plus he's insane, I really like him. Jumping through lawn hates, falling onto the cars. So cool, so cool. Okay, sorry, no more Star Wars talk. However, this was a trial you set me, so it's true. He stared at two demons. The demons looked at each other and then showed their surprise with their not familiar, exaggerated gestures. Wonderful! Wasn't it splendid of her? Indeed it was, for Judge Kuhn's determination is a real deal. It seems I've misjudged you. Please accept my apologies. George chose not to go along with the almost theatrical conversation. He quietly looked down upon the game board, found a piece representing his mother, which was right next to his, and tripped it over. Uh-oh. This was a trial Zephyr and Fulfur had set them. For the love of each other, take the life of another. It was similar to the game within Beata's first game, where they were each given 3 options as a part of a test to select the next family head. However, a pair of lovers would never abandon each other's lives. What about Beata? How Beata gonna go through this? So they never automatically left with just the option of sacrificing the life of another instead. In fact, it was merciful that the demons had ordered them to take the lives of everyone, other than themselves. And besides, it only made taking those lives as pieces on the board. Yeah, sure. For the versions of themselves to whom the game board was only a world, this was a tragic miracle. But for those ones who sat around the game board in a witch's tea room, it was nothing more than a moment of a piece representing really cute chandelier? Like a huge lantern? Really cute. It was nothing more than a movement of the pieces representing George's will to overcome his parents. However, even if it was just a single life within one of the infinite numbers of fragmented worlds, the fact remained that the demon had forced him to take it. George appeared to have distracted himself from the event of a demon game board, but Jessica still seemed to resist the idea of stealing another person's life, even if it was only their life as a game piece. What about Beata? Are you getting cold feet? No. The Beatrician butlers and desires would not be shaken by the likes of this. Well done, who will take the next trial? It can be anyone, please choose the next victim. It can be anyone, let the challenger step forward. Oh, all of them should do it. Huh, okay. If no one steps forward, that means I win, doesn't it? Yeah, it's right. Congratulations are in order, Mia George. The key that leads to successful love between you and the one you cherish will bestow it upon you. Wait! As the demons delightedly named George as a victor, they were interrupted by the next challenger. Jessica-san. I'll go next. Fine. In-game, I'll show you that my feelings for Cancun aren't just a silly childish crush. Is it though? Is it? It was the first twilight. Uh-oh. Romantic regrets. As usual, this year's family conference was getting bogged down. Everyone was decided to cool their heads for a moment, and the short break had been agreed upon. The four siblings could say whatever they wanted, but Natsuki and Curie, for example, were outsiders and found it difficult to speak freely in the short atmosphere. A conference when you aren't allowed to say what you want can be tiring, even as you just sit here quietly. I have a question. Why aren't these people playing cards or something? Can you talk around while playing cards? Wouldn't it be more exciting? And Yuri couldn't help letting out a deep sigh. It had everybody something to do. It's gonna be fun. This was the second-floor hallway in the mansion. Rodolphe had wanted to be alone during the break, so she had felt like doing the same. She had drifted up the stairs to reach this place. Her expression was less tightly controlled than it was when her husband was around. Carrie wore a tired look that she didn't often show. She pressed her forehead against the cool window glass. I need to regain my spirits and support my husband, even if I'm not allowed to speak. That's the duty I want. Who is it? Uh-oh. Yeah. They are killing other people. Was there something like this every time? Ones who are alive kind of tricked into killing others? Maybe? She suddenly sensed another person turn around and saw Jessica standing in the other end of the hallway. Oh, it's you, Jessica-chan. Didn't you go to the guest house? Well, I just decided to head back to my own room for a bit to get a book. I see. And now you're on your way back to the guest house? Yeah, that's right. What horrible rain. Is the wind really strong? It's weak right now, relatively speaking. As Curie looked out the window, Jessica arched her back, looking agitated. Auntie Curie, I'm sorry, you just had a bad luck. Ah, Zephyr, Jessica's roulette of fate had chosen Curie. What will you do, Jessica? The roulette had chosen Curie, but you may reject the choice and spin the roulette again if you wish. It doesn't matter whose life is sacrificed for this trial. Jessica wasn't like George. George has willingly chosen Eva to be the sacrifice, to signify his separation from his old life so he would step into a new life married to Shannon. However, Jessica hadn't thought of any particular target, so she had left it up to the roulette of fate. That roulette was nothing very grandiose. She had simply walked around at random, imposing a rule on herself, saying that the first person she met would be chosen as a sacrifice. And so the roulette of fate had brought her to Curie. Of course, there was nothing forcing her to keep to this rule. However, it was a rule that she had decided upon, and she wasn't one to break it now. Now that she was particularly in a demon's game, this was one bit of a justice that she could cling to. Right now, she could attack that unprotected back, but she still wasn't able to fully resolve herself. What is it? Do you have something to say to me? Nothing. Noticing Jessica's strange silence, Curie turned round. An unprotected back has already gone. Jessica realized that her hesitation has cost her her own first chance. She had taken on a demon's game and proved her love for Kanan. However, would it really be alright to sell her soul to demons for the sake of love? Ask Curie. Not wanting to let George, who had happily... Not wanting to let George, who had already come to terms with the situation, get any more of a lead on her, She had energetically concentrated to this demon's game, but her heart still wasn't ready. Maybe I shouldn't ask you this, Auntie Curie. What is it? It's rare for you to ask me a question, Jessica-chan. I hope I'm capable of answering it for you. Actually, I have someone I like. Oh, really? That's wonderful. Then it is love you wanted to talk about? Yeah, pretty much. Alright, I'll help out if I can. Thank you very much. Actually, is it still one-sided? No, I guess you could say it's just become mutual. But well, there is this trial for us to be joined together. A trial? What are you talking about? There's the two of us and another pair of lovers, and we have to fight each other. A love triangle? Or a love rectangle? Sounds complicated. And? Only the pair who wins can be together. It's something complicated like this. So, it's like, sounds nasty. Love can only succeed in another's couple. Love that can only succeed in another's couple expands. Yes. If we join up, then they all fall apart. And the same the other way around. I think I see where you're going with this. Something like this, right? To that extent is a person allowed to climb over others in your own pursuit of happiness, right? It was once again apparent just how smart Curie was. She immediately figured out the question that Jessica wanted to ask most. I actually like Curie. Curie asks good questions and usually fast to think of stuff. So she not only was said to be smart, she was actually smart. Unlike Angie, who was said to be smart, but wasn't that smart. If you don't fight, it automatically means that they win and you lose. However, if you fight and win, you cause the other's pair to break apart. It's nasty either way, but the answer is obvious. Curie giggled. If she wasn't willing to commit to her love, then that would show the measure of their relationship. If that was the case, she'd just let other pair of lover wins. However, if it was a love she couldn't abandon the victory either. So she had no option but to fight. In the end, Jessica's hesitation was caused by guilt, forcing the others to split apart as a result of her inevitable decision. I guess I'm just being soft after all. Yep, that you are. But stepping in with someone else for the sake of my own love, it feels horrible. In this case, what about the one you love? Will you give up on them? I can tell you one thing for certain. Doing that would feel even worse. You'll be forced to crawl through hell for the rest of your life. A hardness had entered Curie's gaze. I was just 6, so I didn't understand much about it at the time, but I found Mom's notebook among her belongings after she died. Was it a diary? It was more a collection of her thoughts. It's much less organized than a diary would have been. I found it and read it right after she passed away, but I needed to wait a long time until I grew for several years before I could understand it. I see. So did it speak of Curie's worries about her marriage? It was practically a book of curses. It cleared up several things that 6-year-old me have always vaguely sensed. When I was 6, it seemed as though my parents were very close and had no problems. And though I did think it was odd that Anichan lived separately when we was meant to be part of our family, and I did wonder why he only came home every once in a while, I accepted it as the way things were. Did you not know about Asumu? I think Anichan talked to me about her when no one was around, but there was no way an elementary schooler like I would understand. After all, I never even saw a picture of her. Mom had sent all of the pictures with Asamo-san and them to Oni-chan, leaving none behind in the house. In front of Angie and even the thought of Butler, who only rarely came home, Curie's smile never fluttered. If she hadn't written her thoughts in this notebook, Angie would probably never have known them. Rodolphe had been practically popular with the opposite sex since his school days, a typical playboy. Audacious, over the top, and yet not lacking a single gentleness towards women. He had probably built up a formula for getting women to like him. Plenty of women approached him, using various seductive tricks to try to win his favor. Okay. Rodolphe probably enjoyed it more than anyone. Since the beginning, love had been a game to Rodolphe. He never thought of it as a trial and error process to find a single life partner. He would intentionally spark jealousy between women and revel in the harem, lapping up their flirting. He may be my father, but he was an awful man. But at the time, Dad must have looked down on those toddling girls. Mom, who had her own set of values and was extremely intelligent, must have stood out. No, even that might have been due to the skillful way Curie tried to catch Rodolphe's gaze. Yeah, maybe. Mom was smart in many ways. Like the other Charmier siblings, Rodolphe had strong ambitions and loyalty goals. Under the mottos of who dares when, and it's not a crime if you don't get caught. There is, Lambda and Federica. There was not a single part of them here. He would set a business that were Borderlands swindles on bending. I mean, they're not setting up the game, but still, aren't they interested? We are just full-on Fezerline and Angie now? No bitches comments anywhere? Under the mottos, who dares wins, and it's not a crime if you don't get caught, he would set a business that were Borderlands swindles or bending the law and bail out of them, and repeat that process over and over. Apparently, he was already making use of that talent in his college years, cleverly making money by thinking up shameless projects and selling cheap tickets to parties for them. So much money that he would brag about how his wallet was always stuffed with 110,000 yen coin notes. Many women fell for the charisma in being the man responsible for these radical projects, as well as a thick wallet and generosity. It would be a lie to say that Curie was not one of them. However, what made Curie very different from the other women was that she could also support Rodolphe as a business partner. Rodolphe would laugh all the way to bank in his large-scale party succeeded. His female entourage would surround him, and Curie would be the only one among them able to calmly point out several ways that income and the income and expenditure could be improved upon, and even lay out a proposal for the next project. In this manner, Rodolphe must slowly begin to accept her as a partner. Just like some people send men don't belong in the kitchen, there is also a sense that women should stay out of financial affairs. Are you sure, Angie? It's normal for women to be treated by men. The details of how those 10,000 yen notes were scrounged up are vulgar, so they don't ask, don't know, don't care. So you're saying that Curie view money from a man's perspective. In that regard, Rodolphe noticed something unique about Curie. He knew all about how much hard work it took to make it just one of those 10,000 yen notes. So somewhere inside him, he looked down upon those extravagant women who never even considered the effort he had undertaken. Amongst all of them, only Curie possessed the same sharp financial intuition as Rodolphe. What about Asumu? Every time Rodolphe thought of a new plan, he would talk to Curie about it, work out the kinks, and made it succeed. In this way, Curie steadily worked her way up until she was the number one of Rodolphe's large group of followers. But Mom was still a woman. I doubt she enjoyed seeing that pampered by all of the other girls. So she would rather have been his only one instead of a number one. Yeah, though she served as a dead right's hand, she surely got rid of others women in the shadows. It was only a matter of time before Mom would succeed in her love. When did Asimo come into picture? Music stops. She was one of those who swarmed around Rudolph's son. No, not even that. She was just one of his fans. Did you even talk to her? Of course. I knew her well. Ever since the very beginning, before Rudolph's son even knew her name. I'm sure she was quite intelligent herself, and cunning. I tried to use my intelligence to seek out, but she took the exact opposite approach. By her stupidity? I mean, she was good at triggering his protective instincts. Out of all the girls who came to flatter and flirt with him, only she stood out with every action she made, unlike the flashy girls Rudolph's son had tired of. Even now, Curie recognized the mistake she had made in letting Asimo and Rudolph get too close. Curie had thought that by taking the role of the business partner, she had succeeded in making him entirely hers. However, she might have been a little conceited, and her arrogance in trying to eliminate the relationship the other girls had with Rudolph might also have contributed. Perhaps she sometimes tried too hard as a business partner, putting too much pressure on him regardless of facts that it was justified. Bit by bit, Rudolph started to need a woman who could stay quiet and soothe him without making him think about anything complicated. Coward. That woman was Asimo. I'm ruthless and intellectual, rational and economical. I'm a plank of a carnadal situation. I would put the other person off without hesitation. I thought this was the kind of partner suitable for him. However, though the ruthless had made her reliable on the business side of things, outside of business, it might have been disturbed Rudolph deeply. At some point, though Rudolph still acknowledged Curie's skills, he began to yearn for a quiet, warm acceptance. Asimo filled this role completely. She would never talk about anything complicated. Even if she did, she would just shake her head to say she didn't know. However, she would care more for him physically than anyone else, quietly putting a blanket on him and staying by his side until morning. Yes, I did get the position of a business partner, but before I knew, Rudolph said had grown a need for a mental partner, someone who could heal his heart. Foolishly enough, despite coming to be the intellectual one, I never noticed. And then Uncle Rudolph married Anna Asimo. Yeah, that's right. She stole him away from me. She had slept with a lot of women. By this point, he wasn't the kind of guy who would let his emotions be captured by a woman just because he slept with her. After all, sleeping with a woman was just a game for him. That's why I used something other than my body to attract his attention. Why is Wall starting to angle? Can see it. A woman's downfall. Before long, they were both pregnant. Asimo-san told Dad about it right away, but Mom did the opposite. She must have been afraid that pregnancy would ruin her position as her business partner. Apparently, Mom wasn't eating much at the time and was often out of sorts. Because of that, it took a really long time before she realized she was pregnant. Whoa. Okay. When did she notice? It was after Asimo-san suddenly moved into Dad's family register. Mom learned about her pregnancy after that and plotted several times to split Asimo-san and Dad apart, but... Even though Asimo-san always appeared to be so absent-minded, when she got her hands on Rudolph's son, she wouldn't let go. What do you want? Please stay out of the way, she'd say. And this coming from this sissy little girl who's colored up into a ball every time she got on the bus. What? What does this mean? At this point I realized she has been the truly cunning one. Yes, even her fear of vehicles was another lie to catch Rudolph's son's sympathy. Butler faking his shit? Huh. Maybe. My apologies. I must be boring you. No. At the very least, I wanted him to register himself as the father of my child. And it does seem as though Rudolph's son was prepared to do that. He made sure there was a hospital waiting for me, and even though Asuma-san was close to giving birth herself, he gallantly came to see me, even though she was already his wife. What an awful man, really. After that, it was a tale I can't bear even to tell. Both Asumu and I had the same delivery date. What? I thought Butler older than Enji. Oh. Huh? And yet her pregnancy led to marriage, which mine was completely meaningless. I swore to bring up my child well so that Rudolph's-san would be proud to call himself its father. Asumu-san had won her battle against me. However, I hadn't lost the war. If I could make my child excel far more than Asumu-san's, if I could make my child... What? Okay, so Butler is not Asumu-san, we know this, but how everybody is okay with this then? Why doesn't they say his age? Anji's a little sister. It was mentioned multiple times, right? She lives only 12 years in the future. Yeah. Butler is not Asumu-san, so he wasn't born the same day as Enji. But what? Shouldn't Curie question how the fuck Butler is older than Enji then? Like, what? I mean, I get it. Butler's probably like the same child that whatever Natsuhi killed, but still. If I could make my child the one that Rudolph's-san most respected, I would be rewarded. That's what I believed. However, Curie's child was stillborn. Yeah, Asumu-san gave birth to Onichan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about it. Okay, that does make sense. Asumu-san gave birth to Onichan, but mom didn't give birth to anyone. Even mom's final hope of being left a spot as Dad's second wife was destroyed. Who Asumu gave birth to then? Maybe she didn't give birth to anyone either? Maybe? And whatever his name, Genji? Kinzo. And the Kinzo gave them a child in the face of Butler. And Butler is actually like Beato's son, real Beato, who has lived under Kojima some time ago. Nah, that's cool. I wish they just tell me the truth. Kree had fallen from his partner to his second wife, and then, unable to give birth to bond of a child, she tumbled down to being barely his mistress. I can imagine how much she must have hated Asumu and her child, Butler. But despite that, Mom was able to act in a very friendly way towards Onichan. It was definitely a shock for me to discover that my kind and gentle mother had held such negative emotion towards Onichan and managed to hide them. She must have despised Butler. I don't doubt it. If Asumu-san's child has been stillborn and Mom's been the one to give birth to Onichan, history might have changed in some way. It seems she thought that if she had happened, she might have been able to make things play out in a way that Dad would divorce Asumu-san and marry her instead. Was that also written in the book where she kept her thoughts? Yeah. It truly was a collection of random thoughts, fantasies, Mom's resentment as she chewed in the corner of her tear-stained bedsheets. A lot of Ushiramiya woman has some troubles was given birth to children, right? Maybe it's just to say a lot of Australian man has troubles with making children with women. Multiple Krause's childhood died, right? I mean, they didn't die. She couldn't get pregnant. Not he couldn't get pregnant, right? Then Eva is a daughter, and for some reason she was okay. Was given birth to George. And it seems like both of those children, and from Asumu and from Curie, at first birth was stillborn. Well, we don't know for sure what's happened to Asumu's child. Oh, and Rosa had a child. But, I don't know. Is it plot point? Is it important? There's just one thing I regret. You mean the pregnancy? Oh, no. It's my arrogance I regret. Rodolfson is already mine, so I'm completely safe. I'll never lose to this Asuma girl. While she was screaming and shrieking on buses and planes, I was capable of properly managing the travel arrangement and expenditures. Oh my god! Why are you so obsessed with buses, with your fear of moving vehicles? And so I was overly confident that it was the one Rodolfson trusted the most. You say love needs to be nurtured, right? Yeah. That's not wrong. You both need to water the tree, care for it, and nurture it. And in the end, it will finally bear the fruits called love. Did you know? It isn't over when it bears fruits. You have to harvest that love, or it will never be realized. Harvest? You need to think about that yourself, Jessica-chan. If you make a tree bear fruits without harvesting it, it can sometimes grow rotten, and bugs will often gather around it. In fact, sometimes thieves will come by and pluck off the branch. Young kids like you, Jessica-chan, think that love ends with nurturing. That's naive. If you don't harvest it, you will never be rewarded for your love. Harvest love. At a glance, it may seem to be the matter just for the pair of lovers, but that isn't true. Putting off the harvest because you assume you can do it at any time just gives the thieves a chance. What if that fruit you worked so hard to nurture gets pulled off by the branches next morning? You'll regret that you didn't choose to harvest it the previous day instead of pulling it off. That regret really hurts. It'll make you crawl through hell. I was lucky. My hell ended after 18 years, so I'll never misjudge myself again. That man is mine. I won't let him get away. I won't let him out of my sight. I'm grateful to my masters for giving me this chance. My absolute certain willpower is not giving up on that man no matter what was answered with a miracle. I don't think you're a good role model for Jessica. Oh, kitty. By now, Jessica was speechless and didn't nod her head in understanding. This true form of love that Curie was telling her about was far, far more harsh than anything she had imagined. Now, I will do anything to keep Rodolfson by my side, and I will show no mercy to his enemies. If he wished it, I might not even hesitate to commit murder, because I finally gained in determination on the 18th year. That absolute willpower brought about miracle for me. You know, miracles only come with those who can make them come true themselves. Asumu's death was no murder. However, Curie had often cursed her and hoped for her death. And finally, on the 19th year, she built up determination to kill her with her own hands. And then she actually got herself a knife which to do the deed. That was when the miracle occurred. Aunt Asimo passing away was a miracle? Not really. It wasn't even close to a miracle. Huh? After all, if she hadn't died, I would have killed her. Yay, Higurashi ambience. In other words, she was fated to die no matter what. The miracle was that, even though she did die, I didn't have to get my hands dirty. That's all. Until now, Curie had never shown Jessica. No, she had never shown Rodolphe that gleamed in the deepest depths of her eyes. It told plainly and clearly that romance and love are not sweet and fluffy candies that young girls imagine them to be. Jessica was overwhelmed by this pressure and stunned silent. She had to acknowledge it. This was the power of will that could make love be realized. This was the level of willpower Curie showed in her support of Rodolphe as his wife. And it was the same for George. He already had the willpower to confront everything in the way of his love that transcends status, and he had proven that. Now, Jessica could clearly understand that this was the magnitude of George's determination, which had allowed him to coldly carry out his part of a demon's trial. Then, what about her? Did she really have the resolve to make her love with Canaan bear fruit? And go through with the task of harvesting it? I'm sorry. I only meant to give a little advice, but perhaps I scare you a little bit too much. Blame the weather. I just wanted to pressure you a bit, but I've gone overboard. Curie let a relaxed smile rise to her face. The tense atmosphere finally slackened. However, her words had been gorged into Jessica's heart. You don't know what your love has been like, Jessica-chan. But if you have a rival and neither is willing to back down, you can't let yourself become complacent. If you do, you'll end up like me. Every woman should have one time in her life when she would kill for the sake of love. I can tell you that all the women in the world who call themselves mothers have been through that. After all, women who don't do that are chewed to bits by the others and forced to crawl through hell of envy and regret for the rest of their lives. My hell lasted 18 years. I was lucky to be paranoid after just 18. That hell is just filled with women who will never get out of until they die, unless they execute themselves in their regret. Jesus Christ! This is so cool. I mean, this is so bad. This is awful. This is completely garbage. This is incredible. Imagine being this woman. This is... whoa. I love it. I love how bad it is. I love how insane it is. Oh. Whoa. I have no words. I was trying to spar you on, but there I've gone and frightened you too much. I'm truly sorry. Love can be much more easygoing than that, okay? Love really is like playing with fire. Anyone can play easily and lightheartedly, but when you mess up and get burned, the scar stays with you your whole life. Huh? I'm sorry. It struck close to home. Regrets in love will never fade. That was all that Curie had been trying to communicate. It wasn't like Curie to tell her life story instead of saying something like that directly. In fact, her past was a topic she usually avoided. Yeah, time for Curie to die because she told it way too much. It became too sympathetic to the viewer. However, Curie might have felt that though Jessica deserved to hear. Jessica had timidly brought up the subject of love. Perhaps Curie had opened up and told everything, because she had seen the flies of Jessica's determination in her eyes. Time to die, Curie! Well, I'd better head back. Let's skip what we talk about his secret, okay? The mysterious smile on your face, Kiri turned around. However, but... I wonder if it scared you too much. Still, it's 100 times better to learn of that hell from a warning. Once you've fallen into that, it's already too late. Good luck, Jessica-chan. Your love sounds like a handful, but don't let yourself be beaten. It's not every day that I get to act like a mentor. What is it, Jessica-chan? Corpse patty, blood cover. What? A windstorm gazed Kiri's head. It had missed by hair. If Kiri hadn't twitched her body slightly, that fist would probably have been buried in her face by now. A bitter smile rose to Jessica's face when she saw that her first stake had fallen to land and kill. Just so you know, I didn't try to sucker punch you because I'm dirty covered. I hoped to end it with a single painless strike before you realized that what was happening. Didn't I tell you that I lived through hell of jealousy? I've come close to getting stabbed in the back and a couple times before. I know how it feels just before a surprise attack. You mean you could sense it? That plus your lie you told me in the beginning. A lie? Come now. If you had come from your room after picking up the book, were on your way back to the guest house, you wouldn't have come through this hallway in this direction. Chessboard theory led me to 7 possible reasons you might have had for lying. And that was worst case scenario. Telling a hasty lie to Kiri would only put you down on your guard. If Jessica hasn't told that lie, your surprise attack wouldn't have succeeded. Not bad. I would have expected this from you, Auntie Kiri. Why me? You were planning to kill me from the beginning. It didn't matter who it was. Just my luck. It's what you said that gave me the boost I needed. Thanks a lot. Huh? Kiri dodged the punch, placed your hand against the wrist, and slammed it against the wall. Ordinarily being meant to punch the wall should have caused Jessica to hurt your own hand and roll around clutching in pain. However, Jessica's fist left what looked like a meter-wide crater in the wall. She's cute like this. Instead of a look of anguish that's smashing her fist against the wall, Jessica clicked her tongue in irritation and having missed. Incredible! I see what your father's daughter. Have you taken up boxing too? Impossible. Jessica is bare-handed. She isn't holding any sort of weapon at all. Please don't resist, Auntie. Just one strike to the head. I promise you won't feel a thing. Kiri tried to look confident, but she couldn't hide her confusion at this unreal destructive force. If that punch did hit, her head probably would have split open, like Jessica had said, killing her without any pain. Here I come! If you were kicked off the ground and leap backwards and been an instant slower, her gut would probably have been pulverized. Though she had avoided it by hair, Jessica's left body blow was flowed by a terrible tornado-like gust of wind, which blew Kiri back. Is this a dream? Fuck. Is this a dream? Am I sleeping? I don't understand. Does Jessica look like normal Jessica, but something was different. It wasn't human. A common sense didn't apply to it. This had to be some kind of nightmare. Kiri slowly stood up. Then she looked at Jessica, noticed the several meters between them, and realized just how far that blast of wind had sent her flying. Feel free to hate me, but just like you, I can't back down. I can't let my love finish half-hearted. What are you talking about? What are you saying? What on earth is going on? Someone, tell me! The air around Jessica seemed to bend like a heat wave. It seemed to be enshrouding her fist. and it seemed as though something like a red magic circle had appeared beneath your feet. She looked just like a western demon standing amidst the flames of hell. Flame upgrade. Mass upgrade. Armor piercing upgrade. Each time Jessica muttered, her face was surrounded by pulsating, sinister red light. Those fists, which were even given off smoke, surely represented the iron hammers of hell wielded by demons. Goodbye, this is just a nightmare. Curie dashed away with lightning speed. Yes, right now this was her best option. He was smart enough to realize that punching her cheek wasn't the best way to wake up from this nightmare, and by now, this game was no surprise. Renaud. When Jessica murdered once more, a blood-red magical barrier blocked off the corridor. Chris slammed into it hard and realized that her path of escape had been cut off. Stop this madness! This is a nightmare! It's a nightmare! Let me wake up! Wake me up inside. Quickly! Save me, call my name and save me. Yeah, this is a nightmare. I'll wake you up right now, if that's what you want. Just one strike, don't move. She's so cute. Jessica slowly stepped forward towards her, enshrouded in flames. Each time her feet lifted off the floor, boiling steam hung around her footprints. It was a true nightmare. Curie clutched her head in her hands, shaking it over and over again. It's a nightmare, right? This is a nightmare, isn't it? Please tell me that it is. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It is, right? It's a nightmare, right? I recognize that. It is a nightmare. I do too. I recognize this is a nightmare, so please. I'll wake you up with a single punch. Why somebody... That's unfair. Why somebody fighting against Jessica and nobody fight against George? Jessica's neck twisted in an odd angle and she staggered backwards. Her eyes rolled back into her head, although she didn't have a clue that was just happened. A demon stake was buried into an ankle into her forehead. Okay, don't give a fuck, she's actually real. Isn't it Manon? Oh, it's Leviathan. Levinon? Lennon? She looked definitely a real girl. It pulled itself out of her, spun around, and became Leviathan and landed. Wasn't she here before? We already saw her in interacting with people, aren't we? The hole left behind in Jessica's head spurred blood. Leviathan the Envious, right here! Yeah, she fought with Curie before, isn't she? And this inside a nightmare anyway. Why not have a friend that just show up in my nightmares? My friend from hell and me. Thanks for showing up just in the nick of time. It's so early to thank me. She's not down yet. Not down yet. Yeah. Even though she had taken a deep gorge on top of the head, Jessica just stood here, convulsing and wide-eyed. It didn't fall over. The blood stopped pouring out of her forehead, and her blank, doll-like eyes returned. And she slowly pressed her own palm against the wound in her forehead. And there was a seize, as though she had pierced a hot iron against it. It was easy to imagine that she was going to do this to seal up the wound. If Curie didn't escape now, there wouldn't be another chance. Can you defeat her? Impossible. She has a contract with one of the great demons. She's immortal. It's because of love. That's why she's immortal. Yes, love is magnificent. Those with our blessing cannot be killed. Can we break that tragic magic law? Renaud Sama is also a great demon. There is nothing you can do. Can we escape out of the window? The windows are no good either. They were blocked by Renaud Sama barrier a while ago. Incredible. Does it mean she sold her soul to demons for the sake of love? How could she make so many contacts with the great demons? Oh, I'm so jealous. Armor upgrade. All attribute defense. Counter-attacking armor upgrade. In response to these words, this time her entire body pulsating with a red light. She was upgraded herself with a defensive power that would ensure Leviathan's attack would never work again. What is she talking about? Self-augmentation. It's kind of enchantment. Right now, she has enough defensive power to prevent me from piercing her, and she even has the power to reflect the damage back upon her attacker. She's no longer human, she's a monster. Oh, that's all. That's not much had changed. How can you say that? Just like in the very beginning, we still have no chance of winning. Curious humorous. That hurt, but it won't work again. Jessica slowly lifted her hand that had been covered her forehead, and there was no longer any hole here. The hole was blocked by barrier in both directions, and even the windows were sealed. There was no way out. Is the door to the room sealed? No, it's just locked. But it's just a normal room. It doesn't have windows, but we've already been sealed. In other words, it's a locked room and a coffin for us. A coffin is just what I need. Unlock it. Oh, I'm jealous. Why do you want to unlock it? Leviathan's stake flew around at high speed, ramming itself into a keyhole of this room. The tip of the stake became a key. Oh, new room! The tip of the stake became a key. As soon as it was unlocked, the door flew open. Oh, it's an old room. Both of them fell into the room quickly and locked it. It was probably Krause's study. Its look furnishing brought about a sense of nobility that Krause would probably like. Even if you lock it, she can still smash through it with one punch. You can just put the lid on your own coffin. However, if she wants to send this killing blow from inside the coffin, she'll have to take the lid off first. With dim eyes, Jessica tilted her head upward, hearing Curie's words. What are you talking about? How will such a small room be able to protect you? This room may be a locked room. It may leave us with no method of escape. However, even you can break into this room. That's what a locked room is! What are you talking about? How does this tiny room, with my tiny door, does it make you think you've gotten away from me? With a confused expression on her face, Jessica looked warily between her own burning fists and the door. We had 4 hours! Ideal scenario would to finish this scene. Oh, but I'm so tired. Oh, should I just stop? Who cares, right? Who cares? I was gonna come back to it tomorrow, so it doesn't matter as much, right? 4 hours. And slowly she sent the pulsating red light to her fists. Do whatever you feel you should. I know. Yeah, whatever. We'll coming back tomorrow, same time. Thank you for watching. If you watch, see ya. Bye bye.